with this team, yet they keep winning. That's a good thing, but it also can be a double-edged sword.
No, it's a great thing. It's a great thing that you can be so flawed right now as an offense specifically and yet still win these games. So now you're happy that you're winning these games because you still have a chance. But all of a sudden, it's like we got to get things together on the offensive side of the football. We have to figure things out. And, guys, I've been on multiple teams, losing teams. All right, multiple losing teams where you start to look at each other and say, what's wrong? There's days when I was with the Houston Texans and we were a bad football team, and I would just go out there with the mindset of if I just work harder, if I just go out there and run my ass off, it's just going to help us win this game. Yeah. And I would work hard that whole week. The team would work hard that whole week just for us to go out there and lose. And it's like something has to give. And when it comes down to what I've started to realize over the years of just playing and being on some of the losing teams, it comes down to understanding your strength on the team. It comes down to understanding what needs to be done as an offense. Do you understand the offense? Do you understand what you need to do in that offense? Or are you out there just running plays to run those plays? So it's for this team, specifically the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix, we have to ask the question, or Sean needs to ask Bo the question, do you understand what I want done? Do you understand what I want ran? Do you understand what it looks like? And if not, let me teach you.
Well, and it's the understanding, but also, and I could be wrong, so tell me, but being around you guys, NFL players, do you know what you guys want to know more than anything? Why?
Thank you.
Why are we doing this?
Thank you.
Why are we running that play? Why did you call it in that sequence? And if Sean can tell him the why, these guys will listen.
But you know what? That's any teacher. That's anybody out there, right? Like if I tell my son, hey, don't touch the stove, but I don't tell him why, he's going to be like, well, Dad, like let me touch it to see why I shouldn't touch the stove.
Richie's trying to coach me for years. I got to know the why.
I'm still trying to teach Richie not to touch the stove, but he continues to touch the stove.
Yeah. At least I'm allowed to use a knife in my house.
Oh, wow. Wow. Don't show me the scar. I don't want to see the scar.
I got my hand back.
I don't want to see that.
No, but for someone like Sean Payton, who is a teacher, you've been out there. Richie, you've been out there. We see Sean stop practice and teach. And
he's done an excellent job of that.
He may need to do that with Bo Nix in the offense yet again, where it's like, guys, let's stop it right here, even in practice. Let's stop. Let's walk through it. Let me explain what I want done. Let me explain my vision. Then maybe ask Bo, like, hey, do you understand it? And if you don't, let me explain in deeper terms of what I'm looking for. You know who was great at that, Richie? Brian Flores. Brian Flores, when I was with the Miami Dolphins and we got on a run, I think we were on a 6-7 game win streak, and we were so close to getting into the playoffs. We were one game away from it. We couldn't beat was Tennessee. We couldn't beat Tennessee. But what Brian Flores would do is there would be a period during practice where we would just run through all the plays that we're going to do throughout practice. But he would stop and ask us questions and quiz us on why we're doing this play. What's the rhyme and reasoning to why we're doing this play? What's the madness to this thought process of why I'm putting it out there? And you would have to explain to him. And then if you didn't know, well, then he would quote unquote dumb it down for you even more for you to understand what he wants done. We would get into those games and we would feel good about it. Like, okay, it's cover 2.
Yeah.
It's a 4-2 look. Like, this is what needs to happen. If it's not there, then you move to the next one. As a running back, these are my reads. So moving forward for Sean, it's like, one, if you're reducing the plays, which it seems like he's trying to do, let's take out the screens. Not as many screens. There were 11 screens.
It's like an 8-year-old playing Madden out there.
That's a change of pace type of play. You do it when you got a team on their heels. But for Sean, it's like, let me be very detailed in my teaching moving forward on these plays and what I want done and what it should look like.
Yeah, I think philosophically I would agree with you. I think that reestablishing the why and digging deeper into the foundational element of the reason why Sean Payton, who is a disciple of his own system and has built that over multiple decades in the NFL, and like you alluded to, he just loves talking ball, man. He's from that Mike Shanahan, that John Gruden cut where like those guys could sit in a room.
Bill Parcells.
Yeah, Bill Parcells. They could sit in a room with a couple of sticks, couple of drinks, and just talk about the glory days of football for hours and hours and on end. And Sean Payton has been doing that throughout training camp and the regular season of like really trying to stop and break down. But some stuff's clearly not sinking and setting in. So I think that from a philosophical approach, but also and you can speak to this better as a former player and somebody who's been a part of numerous different offenses and personnel situations, Phil. Is it so simple as reducing the amount on Bo's plate in terms of the size of the playbook? Is it that simple? Because Sean Payton poo-pooed it and others have poo-pooed it to say, hey, that, like Sean Payton said, we're comfortable with how we're operating as an offense, which I'm like, really?
Are you sure about that?
You sure? Should you be?
You sure about that?
But I think you were comfortable in the fourth quarter. But, Phil, I think that Bo Nix, from my assessment, is a quarterback that plays with a lot of noise upstairs between the ears. I think he is a hard worker. I think he is just addicted to the process and trying to analyze and crunch and scrutinize all these different things. And I think he's comfortable more so moving out of the pocket than he is standing stationary in the pocket because he's athletic and has legs to utilize. And I think that one of the only tangible reasons I can draw to of why the Broncos seem to turn it on late and the play calling seems to change and Bo Nix and the offense have a different complexity is just because it's like, hey, we're down. There's only a handful of minutes left. We just got to go out there and make a play.
That's exactly
it becomes more
Richie.
quote unquote schoolyard.
You're just playing free.
Yes.
Like you're playing free. You like in your head, you're like, I don't think we're gonna come back. I don't know if we're gonna come back, but let's go out there and try to put some points on the board. Let me go out there and just play football like we're in the backyard, like you got done saying. It's exactly what that is. But also, Richie, it comes down to this. Something I've said multiple times, and people are tired of me saying this, but I'm going to continue to say it because it's important. What's our identity as an offense?
It's a great question.
Who are we? When you look in the mirror, Richie, you look in the mirror, do you know who you are? You're like, yeah, I'm Richie.
Sometimes.
Good-looking dude. Right? But you know that. You're confident.
Yes.
Right? For Sean in this offense, when they look in the mirror, can they sit here and say who they are? Can they tell themselves who they are? Are they a running team? Are they a passing team? We don't know because Sean won't stick to one thing that's working, and that's the run. Let's see if the run can stack together for 2 or 3 games in a row. And then you go from there. If it doesn't work after 2 or 3 games, then you can go back to just passing it 50 times a game. Yeah. But as of right now, J.K. Dobbins has been doing a great job of utilizing and taking advantage of the carries that he's getting, utilizing this offensive line and breaking for some chunk plays to move the chains. Let's stick with the run long enough to set up the pass.
Whether or not they know what their identity is when they look in the mirror, or at a minimum, they don't feel maybe as convicted about their answer as they should. I think, and it sounds like you're in agreement, that the Broncos' identity of what it should be is pretty simple. They've got a badass defensive front that can get after the quarterback. They've got a strong interior defensive line. They've got a bookend of pass rushers that are leading the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, still as a tandem in sacks.
Yep.
And they're on pace as a team to break the single-season sack record in less than 17 games. And they've got a running back in J.K. Dobbins who, when healthy, is one of the better backs in football, and he's healthy so far. And the result, they're a top 5-ish rushing offense in the NFL. So their identity should be run the ball, open up the play action and movement, and utilize Bo Nix's athleticism and rely on our defense to pick us up when that fits.
There you go, Richie. Now you're thinking, man.
See?
If we can only get Zach to think like that, we'll be in great shape.
Speaking of Zach, Drew Spivak behind the glass at the update desk. Do we have any news as to how the assistant coaches versus the Nuggets beat writers and media members is going?
So as of about 3 minutes ago, I don't know if the game is complete or not, but there's a picture on the old Twitter.com of the score. Anybody want to take a guess what the score of the game actually is?
And how far into the game are we here?
It's hard to tell because on the scoreboard it says they're in the first quarter. But I don't think that's true, but there's like 3:44 left in the first quarter. I don't think they're actually keeping track of
We're playing two halves like in college.
Maybe not even that. It's hard to say. I mean, this game's been going for like an hour now.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So if we're 3 quarters into a game, regardless of what the scoreboard says, it's got to be 59-8.
Let me get mine in. It's 63-12.
Well, Richie, you were right on the 8 part. There is an 8 on the scoreboard for the media team.
It's not higher than 60, is it?
It's 93.
93-8?
93-8.
Oh, I have to know.
Now,
I have to know who scored the 8.
I can tell you one person who did score one of the 8.
Zach
By. One of the people that scored one of the 8 points.
Jump shot.
Don't know. I do not have those kind of details.
There's no video?
There's no video. Not yet.
Did he yam it? Yeah, I know he practices on Owen's basketball court by their
I'm not sure. I believe Matt Moore of the Basketball Network has been dunked on 3 different times.
Oh,
hey, you knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Jake Shapiro has not been posterized? Is he even allowed to enter the paint?
According to a video he has on Twitter, he made 1 good pass.
Okay, what about Anilo?
Anilo looks winded. He looks like things are going rough.
That is okay. I would rather be Matt Moore and get dunked on 3 times than someone's sole takeaway from this game is
yes,
he looked winded.
Oh, by the way, we have a final score.
Okay.
101-12.
101-12. They broke double digits.
They broke double digits.
Did the Celtics media break double digits? I don't think they did.
No, I think they got 4.
Eat it, Boston.
So Denver's media apparently is better than Boston's media.
Yeah, I believe that.
Hold on, 101?
But
101.
The Boston media didn't give up 100 points.
Well, maybe Boston's or what? I mean,
does their coaching staff have J.J. Barea?
Yeah, who's on that staff?
Dudley or
Jared
whatever?
Dudley and
Yeah. I'll tell you this. Where was the defense at?
I think Zach had the over.
You know what? That's probably
They should
true,
have drafted
Dante.
me. I would have fouled the hell out of them, but at least I would have contributed.
Yeah,
in
but you
some
would already
type
been
of way.
back here doing the show because you'd have fouled out 3 minutes into the game.
That is true.
Yeah, you wouldn't have missed
That is true.
crosstalk, that's for sure. All right, coming up next, something happened on Sunday for the Broncos that flew a little bit under the radar given everything that went on. We'll tell you what coming up next.
The Fan Flyaway is back, presented by 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. To kick off 2026, Denver Sports 1043 The Fan is sending you to Phoenix for the biggest party in golf. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money, all included. Head to thefanflyaway.com to register. That's thefanflyaway.com. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
What's going on, everybody? Philip Lindsay here with the one and only Williams Jewelers. And if you're looking for fine jewelry or a great timepiece just like I was, then why not shop where some of the world's leading designers are sold? Williams Jewelers helped me find my new Tudor watch, and they can do the exact same thing for you. And if you're not looking for a watch, any type of jewelry you're looking for, they're going to have guaranteed. And they're going to treat you just like family the minute you step through those doors. It won't pressure you at all. They gave me the time I needed to make the right decision for myself, and looking at this beautiful watch on my wrist today, I made a great decision because of that. And starting from one little store in Inglewood, Williams Jewelers has fought their way to the top, and now they have 2 locations and have become one of the largest fine jewelers in the country. So when you step foot into their showroom, like I said earlier, you're going to feel just like family, and their service reflects that. They are dedicated and they work hard to make sure you're satisfied with your purchase. And not only are they going to share the secrets of the business with you, they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, my hometown jeweler, also the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue and also on Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Philip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Brendan Stokely here from my team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Are you ready for winter? Worries you might need a new furnace? Don't know where to begin? Rocks Heating and Air makes it incredibly easy with their new, free, no obligation online heating and cooling quote. It takes less than 5 minutes and gives you options instantly. No calls, no waiting, and transparent pricing. Only at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair, ROX rocks.
Heating and Air.
If you've been injured in Colorado, you want Wilhite. After an accident, you want Colorado's accident experts on your side, the Wilhite Law Firm. Get your free case review right now. Just call 303-GOOD-LAW today or visit WilhiteWins.com and win big with Wilhite.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Colorado can count on.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here for 5280 Exteriors. Big deals on windows and siding. Order in October, finance with them, and pay nothing until November 2027. Be warm for the holidays. Call 5280 Exteriors. Low monthly payments. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay.
Off and roll.
I love it, Richie.
Woo! 101 on a Tuesday.
The twit.
We got another update, Drew, on the tight defensive battle between the Nuggets assistant coaching staff and the Denver media.
Yeah, I was misled. Apparently, I thought the final score was 101-12. It actually ended up being 114-16.
Oh.
They just squeezed 13 more points, did the Nuggets staff, out of the final minute of the game?
They didn't lose
Calling
by
a lot of timeouts?
They didn't lose by 100. They kept it under 100.
By 100. So what was it, 114-16?
114-16.
They covered that 99.5.
Per our very own Jake Shapiro, host of the Mile High Hoops podcast.
Shout out.
Zach was the media MVP, scoring 4 points.
He's going to remind you of that for about 4 hours.
No doubt. 4 points and a boatload of boards. I don't know what a boatload. I don't know how many a boatload is.
I was like, what is a boatload?
So
a boatload of boards.
Metric system.
My guess is I'm going to go out there and say this. ZB probably had at least 8 to 10 boards.
Is that a boatload?
8 to
That doesn't feel like a
10.
boatload.
They scored 114 points. How many shots could they have missed? How many possessions were available?
I mean, 114 points, you got to figure they probably had, I don't know, 190, 200 possessions. At least.
Holy cow.
Because you can't imagine there was a lot of D being played on this on the media side.
Well, I was going to say, the assistant coach's side looked like they were doing it right.
I know ZB is coming in here. Hopefully he's listening right now. I wish we could call him.
Do they have a trophy? Do they have an MVP
I
trophy?
have not seen one yet. I'm keeping my eye on Twitter to find out.
Oh, he is going to be.
That was like you know what I like to say, belt to ass. That was definitely one.
That is, that's
the
you're,
leather.
You know,
You're tasting.
You're losing feeling at that point.
But listen, our media is better than Boston's media. That is confirmed.
Oh yeah,
as of today.
and to be honest with you, as crazy as it sounds, given the way that it panned out, I actually was not. I didn't think they would win, but I thought the Denver media here locally in a basketball setting would show out okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Do you
not
think
like
some of the media members, some of them, got humbled in this game?
Oh yeah, Phil, they lost by 90-something points.
Well, you
they
know how
definitely
people are. People out there, they like to say, hey, like I can take on a basketball player, or I can tackle a football player until you have to do it.
Yeah.
All right, so there is a trophy.
For the MVP?
I just received a text message from Jake Shapiro with Zach By holding the trophy. I think you guys might be on the thread as well.
Oh, wow.
There's a big silver trophy. I don't know what it says on it.
Oh, I have it.
Mile High Challenge.
Wow, that's a legitimate trophy.
It is a legit trophy. So Zach By is going to have his name on the Mile High Challenge. Mile High Challenge. I don't know. Oh, Media Skills Challenge trophy.
Media Skills Challenge. Zach By has a long sleeve shirt on under the jersey.
I know.
I don't really like that.
I don't
look. No
either.
swag. I'm not with that.
No swag.
Like, come on. Like, you're out there. You this could have been on TV, and you had a long sleeve shirt on. Zach, ZB, show the guns.
All right, what gets more mentions? This photo. More mentions from Zach. This photo, him showing his name and his face alongside this trophy, or the video of his son Owen dropping an absolute dime to win his football game that I think I must have saw 14 times, and I still don't know how he throws a football better than me. I think this might be Zach's obsession for at least the day.
No, I think it's more about Owen. But I do think that we need to get this picture blown up and hung in the studio.
We do.
Does it replace the cardboard cutout from the golf?
Yes, I think it does. I think it has to.
But you also have to describe who's in the background.
Yeah, Josh is in the background.
With no shirt.
No shirt
under
Josh
the
did it right.
jersey.
Yeah.
Josh Dover.
Showing the tats.
And Josh said he was going to be MVP.
Well, we all knew that wasn't true because I think Zach's.
Josh
will
like
even
he's
admit
not
that Zach's
happy
a better
about
hooper than Zach is. Or Josh says that Zach is a better hooper than he is.
I got to know how many a boatload is.
Yeah, we'll find out. But that's what I heard, boatload.
I wish I could have seen this game. I wish we could have done some play-by-play of it.
Somebody should have live streamed it.
Somebody needs to tell Zach Biden
the Nuggets
why
have
is
had
the
their
water
struggles
bottle
with streaming
full?
in the past. I don't think we need to bring up any
His
additional
water
challenges.
bottle is still full. That means that he was not working.
Where do you see his water bottle?
It's under the trophy. The water bottle is still full. That means that you're not working hard enough if you don't need a drink of water. Wow.
He didn't break a sweat. That's fun, man. I can't wait for Zach to get back here and for Dante to tell him why he would have 5x'd his offensive scoring output. I actually cannot wait for both of those moments. All right. Well, something did happen, believe it or not, in the Broncos game on Sunday that is unrelated to this media game that happened earlier today that flew under the radar. And I promise Phil and I will get to that coming up next.
Bo Nix and the Broncos snatched victory from the jaws of defeat and took down the Giants with a thrilling come-from-behind performance. Nearly halfway through his sophomore season, has Bo shown enough to prove he can be the next franchise QB in the Mile High City. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. On behalf of the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, talking to you men out there about how you're feeling today. Seriously, how are you feeling? How'd you sleep last night? What's your energy level right now? Are you already ready for the weekend despite it being only Tuesday and maybe you don't make it to the gym the way that you used to? And when you do drag yourself there, it's exactly that, a drag, and not as productive as it used to be. Guys, believe it or not, these could all be symptoms of low testosterone, which happens to us men as we age. You didn't do anything wrong, but I encourage you, go take the low T quiz at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. Simple 10-question quiz, yes or no answers, literally takes 2 minutes. From there, you can schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. They'll draw your blood, they'll have the results within 30 minutes. A Colorado licensed medical provider will review those results with you and discuss your options, and you'll make a decision together with their medical team. There's zero pressure. Cost of the appointment is just $99. That includes a medical consult, a T and PSA test, and if you sign up for testosterone treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is completely free. Fellas, you got one life to live. Don't spend it wondering if you're suffering from low testosterone. Go take the low T quiz at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey, it's winning season in Colorado, and now your home can score big too. Gravina's Window Center of Littleton is giving 25% off Infinity by Marvin windows. That's a bigger win than competition's small plays. With 0 down, no interest financing, and windows built to last decades, not seasons, you'll be set for the long game. Call 303-794-0490 or visit windowsforyourhome.com. Gravina's Window Center of Littleton, your home team for windows that last.
Fall is a season of change, but at Postman Law, one thing never changes: results. With no out-of-pocket expense to you, we deliver with speed, ease, and results. Call 844-POSTMAN now. This is attorney advertising.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto-pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Hey guys, boy Steve here today by my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if you can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house, all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
If you're considering sedation dentistry and want to learn more about it, Clarkson Dental can help. When it comes to your health, you want to make sure you know all the details. The highly trained professionals at Clarkson Dental have your answers. Learn more at coloradosedation.com.
Is water damaging your home? Contact Groundworks, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at groundworks.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
There was a lot that went down in the Denver Broncos game against the New York Giants at Empower Field at Mile High.
You got to get that right.
Got to get that right. TM. Broncos Park, powered by Common Spirit. Don't come after me. But, Phil, there was something that happened during that game that I think by a lot of standards flew under the radar, which, I mean, you have a historic fourth quarter. Bo Nix making history. The Broncos making some franchise history.
Yeah.
It
Super
was
Bowl 50 team.
Super Bowl 50 team. Demaryius Thomas being enshrined in the Ring of Honor.
A lot going on, Richie.
A lot going on there, Phil. So much that, did you realize that when the clock struck 0 in that game, sometime between the clock striking 0 and Dre Greenlaw going after an official, Courtland Sutton passed Riley Odoms, Ring of Famer Riley Odoms, for 7th on the Broncos' all-time receiving list. Courtland Sutton is now one of the 7 most prolific receivers in NFL history. In Broncos history.
No, for sure. But he's also a really damn good receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Courtland Sutton's putting up great stats throughout his career because he's so consistent. Not only is he consistent, but he's the leader. He's the captain of this team. And just knowing him on a personal level, knowing him when he first got to the league and how hungry he was and how selfless he is. The man that's out there on that football field, he is a genuine guy that not only is going to do his part to help you win the game by catching the ball, by running the routes, but he's also going to help you by blocking. He's also going to help you. He was a gunner, by the way, at special teams. It was me and Cortland Sutton, and Cortland would sub in for me when we got to the 50-yard line, because now those punts, you usually want to catch those punts. And so usually you have a receiver out there that can catch those punts. So Cortland would do anything you asked him to do to win a football game. And now he's being rewarded by moving up the board with the reception 7th. By the end of this year, because he is the number 1 receiver here, he's going to be targeted a bunch moving forward. He's going to be able to get inch closer to number 1 with a lot of these records.
This past Sunday against the Giants, as I mentioned, he passes Ring of Famer Riley Odoms for 7th all-time on the Broncos receiving list in terms of yardage.
Yeah.
Last week, he passed Emmanuel Sanders, his former teammate, for 7th all-time in receptions in Broncos history. So whether you're judging it by amount of times he's caught the football or how far he's traveled after catching the football, Cortland Sutton is a top 7, closing in on top 5 receiver in the history of the Denver Broncos.
Richie, that's why
it's crazy, right?
Yes, that's why we paid the man.
And this is similar to Demaryius Thomas, who started his career prior to Manning with some uncertainty and instability at quarterback, and they weren't the most prolific and productive offenses, despite the fact that DT was just an unbelievable freak athlete of a talent. Peyton Manning talked about, as a part of the induction process and remembering DT, about how Demaryius Thomas's untapped potential and talent factored into him coming to the Denver Broncos in what, at that time, in my opinion, was the greatest free agent signing in the history of the NFL, Peyton coming to Denver.
Richie, do you think by the end of Cortland Sutton's career, he's going to be a Ring of Famer?
Phil, it's going to be hard to say no. I think at the end of Cortland Sutton's career, especially if he plays beyond this season and into that contract extension that he signed, which I assume that he will for at least a year or so, he's going to be a top 5 statistical receiver in the history of a Broncos franchise. And I know that doesn't automatically qualify someone for Ring of Fame, and there's criteria and subjectivity to it. And
we're winning games now, too.
And we're winning games now, right? Because that was something just like DT struggled with at the start of his career here with the Broncos. Cortland Sutton, from 2018 through up till basically now, has dealt with nothing but a revolving door at quarterback, and yet he has still found ways to have prolific 1,000-yard seasons. He had a 1,000-yard season where the Broncos started 3 different quarterbacks for multiple games.
Oh, I know. I want to say
you
I was
were on that team. Yeah, I believe it was 2019.
I remember us trying to get him to that 1,000-yard mark, and that was the year.
So he
for
did it
Cortland.
because of you.
Oh no, he did it because everybody
okay.
around him said, "Hey, Court, we got to get you involved. We got to get you going." And Cortland was making those big time plays, and now that you kind of fast forward things to 2024 and 2025, Cortland went for 1,000 yards last year with the rookie quarterback. This year, Bo Nix, number 1 target is Cortland Sutton.
The year before Bo Nix's rookie year, he had 10 touchdowns with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but that's Mr. Consistent for you. Cortland Sutton is very consistent, very detailed with his route running, and he is getting better every single year, which is crazy to say. We say that about Garrett Bowles, but for Cortland Sutton, one thing that Cortland's actually doing a better job of this year than he did any of his other years is run after catch. And I don't know, maybe the cornerbacks are scared of tackling that big body receiver Cortland Sutton, but right now Cortland's able to catch the ball, get upfield for another 5, 10, 15 yards. That's something that we wanted to see from Court. Now, is it something that Cortland does all the time? No. But we're seeing it a lot more times than not this year, which is interesting, which is also helping us win these games when you're getting that extra yards, especially when you need to find out who your receiver 2 is. So Cortland Sutton's the only one we got that's consistent and needs to continue to be consistent.
When you look back, Phil, 6, 8, 12 weeks from today, and you think about the conversations that we were having, specifically about Cortland Sutton and his role or status within the offense, right? The conversation was, is Cortland Sutton really a wide receiver 1? He hadn't been paid the extension yet. Are you going to pay him close to the money you'd have to pay T. Higgins?
Forgot. You didn't like Court, did you?
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I figured.
I was okay with them not giving him an extension before the season because I just figured that you'd play it out. And
so
you'd
you
see
didn't
how
like
it went.
Court. It's okay.
Now, I'm not going to let you get me like you get Zach with this Cortland Sutton.
I'm asking. You didn't want to pay Court.
I was okay if they chose not to. And what I think I rationalized with was, is Cortland Sutton a wide receiver 1 on 10 or 11 teams in the NFL? Maybe not.
Yes.
Maybe not, right?
Yes.
But it doesn't matter. And I think these last 7 weeks are evidence of that, to where people like, I'll fine. You want me to raise my hand a little bit? I'll raise my hand.
Raise both hands, Richie.
I wasn't
Throw your hands up
100%
and shout.
convinced. I wasn't 100% convinced, and I don't know where Nuggets media MVP Zach Bye stood on this subject, but I know that you were very pro Courtland Sutton and all that,
I talked him
and
into it.
your reasons were valid. But doesn't it seem kind of silly going back, looking at the hand-wringing of the conversations that were being had around this market and within the fan base about whether or not Courtland Sutton was a quote-unquote wide receiver one and what that means and whether or not he should be paid before the season, during the season, after the season? Because like he has for the majority of his career, as evidenced by the fact that he's a top 7 receiver all time for the Denver Broncos, he just goes out there and makes plays. And maybe he's not Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb.
Richie, he's not a flashy receiver.
Right.
He doesn't have the speed that, like, you're catching this ball or the screen route, since Sean likes to run these screens, and taking it 80 yards for a touchdown. That's not Courtland Sutton's game. But he is that big body receiver. He's great with the 50-50 balls. He has great concentration, and he's strong. And like we said and I said multiple times, he's very consistent. If you tell him to run a 15-yard route, he's running a 15-yard route. If you're telling him to run a 15-yard comeback, he's going to run a 15-yard comeback, and he's going to be on time. That's what you're looking for, especially when you're a young quarterback. You need a receiver that you can rely on that's going to be there all the time, and that's Courtland Sutton for you. And that's why he would be a receiver one in a bunch of different teams out there. If he had to go somewhere else and move, he would be a receiver one for them because he's so consistent.
Well, the semantics of it aside, I think Bo Nix certainly agrees with you because he just flat out said after the game against the Giants, they don't make many wide receivers like Courtland Sutton anymore.
Absolutely. The one throw I felt like I made today that got me in rhythm, we threw an out route to Courtland, and there's a guy just kind of standing right in front of him, and I knew if I throw this high enough and throw this over this guy, Courtland's going to somehow end up, getting there. And then the last play to where I knew if I get a one-on-one and the DB's back's turned and I see Courtland go up and jump, I know he's coming down with it. And it's a little bit the vision I have seeing, Courtland against man-to-man, just thinking like, man, this is going to be no-brainer. I'm going to put this up. He's going to go up and get it. And as soon as he left the ground, I knew we just had to get up there and spike the ball unless he was going to have a chance. So it was awesome. It was awesome. I love playing with a guy like him because there's no prima donna. He works harder than everybody in the locker room. He's one of the oldest vets in the locker room, and he works harder than everybody else. He runs more than everybody else. He trains more than everybody else, and he never complains. You never hear a word out of him. The way he practices is how he plays, and I think that's why it translates. And I just, super thankful to play with a teammate like that. They don't make many like him. I'm just fortunate to have a guy like that.
I think he is fortunate, Bo Nix, to have a guy like Courtland Sutton that he can use as a bailout, as a security blanket, as a go-to target, as somebody when you're in that third and gotta-have-it situation.
Your safety blanket.
That if you put the ball up in a reasonable opportunity to do so, that guy's going to come down with the football. And that's what Courtland Sutton is.
Yeah, you know what, Richie? The one thing I admire about Court the most is he does not complain. There has been multiple times this year where he only had one reception. And yet, you don't see him go to the podium talking about, I want more reps and they need to get me more involved in pouting. He just goes on. He goes on about his business like you should. A pro's pro. And that's contagious because now people like Troy Franklin see that and say, okay, this is how you act. This is how you respond when you don't have a good game or you don't get targeted enough. This is what you look like when you go out there and you're consistent. So, Courtland, continue to do what you're doing. I'm proud of you, man. I know that you're probably not listening right now, but I'm proud of you, and keep going for it all.
I love it, man. I love it. And Courtland Sutton, currently 7th all-time in receptions and yardage for the Denver Broncos as a franchise, and he eclipsed both of those marks in back-to-back weeks. He will continue to work his way further up the leaderboard or the list in terms of great all-time Broncos receivers. But another Denver Broncos legend took their own step closer to immortality today, and we'll get into that coming up next.
What a roller coaster. After trailing for nearly the entire game, the Broncos offense erupted with a 33-point fourth quarter and sent the Giants back to the Big Apple with a loss. What can Sean Payton do to get his offense going before the final frame? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, guys? Philip Lindsay here, and I want to tell you about my new obsession, and that's with Daisy's French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching any big-time game. And now that Daisy's has come out with a delicious Daisy French Onion Dip, along with a Daisy Ranch Dip, these are definitely game changers that you're not going to want to miss out on. They're as delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients that you can find in your own kitchen. So if you want to be blown away like I was, then you need to give Daisy's French Onion Dip a try today. You can find Daisy's French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Chernak from Denver Regenerative Medicine. When it comes to healing, there's no one-size-fits-all. Every patient receives a unique treatment plan designed just for them. We use either your own stem cells or carefully selected donor cells to treat degenerative joints, torn muscles and ligaments, and even back injuries. Our goal is lasting healing without unnecessary surgery. And right now, we're offering 10% off treatments through October. Schedule your free consultation today at denverregen.com. That's denverregen.com.
What's going on, everybody? Philip Lindsay here. And last year, I went a little rogue and dropped a discount code from our friends at Hermes Worldwide. And you guys used it so much, they almost got mad at me. Well, I'm feeling a little spicy again this season. So I'm bringing it back, baby. You can get 30% off your ride to the game with Hermes Worldwide for your entire season. All you have to do is mention the code PL30. Again, mention PL30 when you book your luxury transportation to Empower Field. And contact Hermes Worldwide at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/Denver Sports. Go Broncos!
You could save thousands of dollars on the products your business uses the most with the Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred Pricing. Registering is free and easy. Just have your tax ID or business or contractor's license ready. But don't wait. The current preferred pricing benefit will end on November 15th. Visit your local Pro Desk to register now and unlock the deepest savings on the products you choose.
The cost of everything is still out of control, and many of us are relying on credit cards to cover essentials. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. Americans collectively owe over $1 trillion in credit card debt. You might have considered reaching out to my friends at American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. Well, there's good news. They've created a smart equity loan, a solution designed to help you take control of your finances without touching your current mortgage. Unlike a HELOC, which can have varied interest rates, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate. That means one predictable monthly payment, giving you peace of mind. This loan allows you to leverage the equity in your home to pay off high interest debt, free up your cash flow, and keep your existing low mortgage rate intact. It only takes 10 minutes to get started with no upfront or hidden fees. Call American Financing today and start saving now at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040. With just a friendly tip here, I like to remind people that they never want to be gambling that the person that hits them has good insurance. So I want you to take a look at your insurance policies. Check and make sure that you have two things. One's called MedPay coverage. You want to make sure you have that. And then also UM/UIM coverage. This will protect you in case you get into an accident and the person that hits you doesn't have good insurance. If you have any questions, just give me a call. 303 Law 4040. That's 303 Law 4040.
Don't miss Colorado football's 2 remaining home games of the 2025 season. Celebrate homecoming with the Buffaloes as CU faces the Arizona Wildcats on Saturday, November 1st. Then lock in your seats for Senior Day against the reigning Big 12 champs, Arizona State, on November 22nd. Great seats are still available at beautiful Folsom Field. Visit cubus.com/tickets or call 303-492-8282 and be there as Ralphie 7 leads the charge for your Colorado Buffaloes.
Joel Klatt, the nation's leading voice in college football, joins Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth every Wednesday morning. Presented by Groove Toyota. Here we go. Tune in at 8:10 for exclusive insight, bold analysis, and maybe just a hint of shenanigans. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Is back, Phil. The Fan Flyaway is back and better than ever thanks to our friend Dan Jacobs and 303 Law 4040. This time, we're sending one lucky listener and a guest to Phoenix in February for the biggest party in golf. Here's what you get. 2 tickets to Saturday's round at TPC Scottsdale, round-trip airfare for 2 from Denver, 2 nights hotel stay, and $500 in spending money.
It doesn't get better than that,
It
Richie.
really doesn't,
Come
man. This particular flyaway destination is a bucket list event for me. Yeah, I would love to go to this particular event. I will be envious and willing to accept guest invitations from whoever happens to win this prize. For more information and to register, head to thefanflyaway.com. And if you've entered one of our previous flyaway contests, good news, you are already registered for this one. Once you sign up for one flyaway, you are entered for all future flyaways. Phil, we talked a lot last segment about Courtland Sutton and the way that he continues to cement himself among some of the better wide receivers in the history of the Denver Broncos. But there were really one, but probably 2 Denver Broncos legends that took one step closer to their own immortality today. I'm talking about Mike Shanahan and Dan Reeves, both of whom inched closer to having their names forever enshrined in history in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Man, Richie, I mean, it's about time. Hopefully.
Isn't it, though? I mean, we have
they're
this
getting
conversation every year with Mike Shanahan.
No doubt. And it's like they're getting closer, and it seems like every year it gets closer and closer, but at some point it has to happen. It's like the defense, right? If a defense is always out there, at some point they're going to bust. So at some point it's going to bust through for Mike Shanahan and Dan Reeves to be a Hall of Famer, which it's way past due for them to do that, man. So my question to you.
Okay.
You like to ask me questions, Richie. Now I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
Between Mike Shanahan and Dan Reeves, who do you believe is going to get in first?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I think both coaches have Super Bowl credibility. You know, Dan Reeves was some of the earlier years with Elway, and obviously they had some headbutting and some things that went on. But Dan Reeves went on to leave the Broncos and then bring another team back to the Super Bowl.
4 Super Bowl appearances for Dan Reeves. 2 for Mike Shanahan.
Yeah. And appearances versus victories, you can start to get into, how you parse that through. But again, when you look at Mike Shanahan, man, you can put whatever stock you want into the coaching tree and the lineage that comes from that. His son Kyle, obviously a longtime head coach now for the 49ers and still looking for his first Super Bowl victory. But all of the disciples of this Shanahan system, right? The West Coast offense that was perfected by Mike Shanahan, and something that we still see prevalent in today's NFL with all the changes offensively that happen year to year and team to team around the league. Some of the ones that do it the best consistently still use some of these same principles.
Because football is football.
Right.
You can pretend like it's changing, and it is changing in certain ways, but at the end of the day, it's about scoring a touchdown. It's about, as an offense, specifically an offense, staying on the football field. It's about trying to find a run game, trying to find a passing attack. And Mike Shanahan has done a great job of creating this method where any running back that was in the backfield for Mike Shanahan was going for 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
that's
plug and play.
Beautiful.
It was plug and play. And under Mike Shanahan, the Broncos had some of the best years that they've ever had in the history of their franchise. We talk about the Manning era, right? Those 4 seasons with Fox and Kubiak culminating with Super Bowl 50. But Mike Shanahan won back-to-back Super Bowls in 1997 and 98. Yep. He coached for more games for the Broncos than any other coach in franchise history at 224. And his 138 regular season wins with 8 playoff wins are both top marks for the Denver Broncos.
So what are you telling me, Richie? I asked you, who do you think gets in first?
It should be, I would, if I was casting a vote, I think I would put Mike Shanahan in first. Not that both aren't deserving, because I think that they are. Dan Reeves, sometimes I think because of what's happened since he was the head coach here in Denver, gets kind of lost and forgotten about, and he was a damn good coach in his own right and proved it at multiple organizations, like I said. But man, it just feels like having Mike Shanahan be who he was and continues to be for the NFL world and community without the gold jacket to commemorate a literal lifetime of service
and you
that
won
he has
Super
given
Bowls
to the game.
Back to back.
And he's a back-to-back Super Bowl champ for a franchise that is among the more proud winning organizations in the NFL. I know the last better part of the last decade or so prior to Bo's rookie year wasn't great for the Broncos post Super Bowl 50. But when you're looking at it from a macro perspective, Phil, the Broncos are a premier winning organization historically for the NFL, and Shanahan has some of the brightest moments.
His hands are in that pot. When you talk about Super Bowls, you're bringing up Mike Shanahan. So I'm with you on this. I wanted a little pushback. I thought you were going to go with Dan Reeves because he is deserving of getting into the Hall of Fame. You don't get to 4 Super Bowls, 3 with the Denver Broncos, 1 with the Falcons, and have a bunch of wins, have 192 wins under your belt and not be in the Hall of Fame.
You know what, though?
You're playing, or your coaching career, 23 years of coaching in the NFL. Like, you don't do that. 2 Coach of the Year awards, 1992 and 98. Like, you don't do that and not get elected into the Hall of Fame. But for me, when I'm looking at this and what Mike Shanahan has done is bring us Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Not just get there, but we have them. We have that hardware inside the facility
2
where
of
you
the
can
3.
literally walk in. All right, and I know I've been there, so it's easy for me just to walk into those sliding doors, and you go up the stairs a little bit, and there they are, all the Super Bowl trophies looking right at you. And Mike Shanahan had a big reason to do with that. So therefore, with that, and I'm a little biased because when I was growing up, I got to see Mike Shanahan as a coach. Like, I remember Mike Shanahan.
Yep.
So for that, and what I just said there, like, Mike Shanahan should definitely go in before Dan Reeves, no disrespect, and it needs to happen this year.
Yeah, and and you said something earlier there, like, oh, you don't do X, Y, and Z and these things that Dan Reeves and Mike Shanahan have done and not get inducted into the Hall of Fame. And the saddest part about it all, Phil, is you actually do. Because this problem that we experience here locally with Mike Shanahan, they are not unique to that struggle. You've got other 2-time Super Bowl champion coaches who are not currently in the Hall of Fame and going through the same election process and hopeful, kind of candidacy that Mike Shanahan and Dan Reeves are. Tom Coughlin won a couple of very prominent Super Bowls with the New York Giants. George Seifert and Mike Holmgren, right? So you've got Super Bowl champion caliber, in some cases multiple-time Super Bowl champion head coaches.
Now, is Bill Belichick, is he eligible yet to be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
I don't think so. I don't know. Oh, he is? Yeah. Oh, Bill Belichick is. He actually is among the after the rule change.
Okay.
I was going to say, they did rule on this. Bill Belichick is among the field after a rule change last year that allows coaches to be out of football for just 1 season before being eligible.
Yeah, I mean, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He is.
Bill Belichick. So he's going to be
6
the one
Super Bowls
that stumps Mike Shanahan yet again.
Could be, and it feels like we have that conversation every year. There is always a coach or two that get advanced where Mike Shanahan doesn't make the cut, where you're like, it's tough to argue with that. But then there's a handful where you're like, really? Are we sure that guy is a surefire Hall of Famer over a guy like Mike Shanahan or Dan Reeves? It happens every year.
So there's a rule, right? Is the rule that you can only induct one coach into the Hall of Fame every year, or can you induct multiple? I'm not sure, and I'm not familiar because you got the players, you're inducting them all the time.
Yeah.
But for a coach, it seems like you just won.
I'll look that up. I don't know because there's also there's different categories and subclasses of the electoral process and who qualifies for what. But the list gets narrowed down to 9 and then eventually lands on 1 finalist. Yeah, I am seeing that here. So
just 1.
Right now we're in the stage where 12 coaches have advanced. The field will then advance to 9 finalists and then whittle its way down to 1 singular inductee for the 2026 class.
They may need to change this process up because there's a lot of coaches that are waiting to be inducted into the Hall of Fame that deserve to be there. But somebody like Bill Belichick comes around, they change the rule up, he's definitely getting in.
He has to.
And now all of a sudden you're on the back burner yet again. Like, let's do 2 coaches at a time. Like, we're doing multiple players. Let's do 2 coaches at a time. They deserve to be there just like the players because for a lot of these players, they're not getting to the promised land or they're not getting their opportunity if you don't have a really good coach to help you out.
As much as the post-New England era for Bill Belichick has looked kind of wonky, I mean, he won 6 Super Bowls with Tom Brady.
A phenomenal defense.
Certainly going to be, and 2 more as a coordinator, is certainly going to be in that category to be in as quickly as possible, especially taking advantage of the rule change. All right, coming up next, there's something in the Denver sports scene that became official yesterday, if it wasn't already, and the Broncos offense has been pretty frustrating so far this season. Is Bo Nix holding them back, or could it be Sean Payton tugging them in the wrong direction? All of that coming your way next.
Christian Braun is here to stay. The Nuggets lock down their rising star with a 5-year extension worth $125 million. With CB cemented into the starting lineup, is it officially championship or bust in Denver this season? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Colorado can count on.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Annuities not advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at trajanwealth.com.
Brandon Stokely here from my team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Are you ready for winter? Worries you might need a new furnace? Don't know where to begin? Rocks Heating and Air makes it incredibly easy with their new, free, no obligation online heating and cooling quote. It takes less than 5 minutes and gives you options instantly. No calls, no waiting, and transparent pricing. Only at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars
Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Leading off with the big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Philip Lindsay.
The Denver Broncos, especially offensively, have kind of made you want to pull your hair out through the first almost 2 months of the season. In some ways good, in some ways not so good. And I think that that's been one of the more frustrating evaluations of this Broncos team through their first 7 games is, Phil, I think we can all agree that defensively they seem to be doing a pretty good job thus far of carrying the torch from 2024 into 2025. Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper kind of emerging as a legitimate NFL sack duo across the league.
Dynamic duo.
The running game, which was the bane of our existence in 2024 with, ironically, Javonte Williams, who we'll see this weekend in a Cowboys uniform and is doing the damn thing.
See it? You see him?
Yeah, he is doing his thing.
And 100 yards and breaking off 60-yard runs.
Super frustrating. But J.K. Dobbins is here, and he's doing it at a pretty high level, consistently week in and week out. Still waiting for that R.J. Harvey, kind of role to materialize. But overall, the run game, way better than it was before. Bo Nix, not looking overall better, I think, than he was in 2024, where for the last, 7 or 8 weeks of the season, he was a bona fide Rookie of the Year candidate. Yeah. We were talking about him neck and neck with Jaden Daniels, production-wise, rating-wise. Obviously, Jaden Daniels' team went further in the postseason and did what they did, and Brock Bowers had maybe the greatest rookie tight end season of all time. But it hasn't all come together in 2025 the way that we thought. The Broncos offense is averaging less points per game than they did during Bo's rookie season last year. Nix is ranked 19th in yards per game, 29th in yards per completion out of theoretically 32 starting quarterbacks, 24% in completion percentage, 24th in quarterback rating, and 22nd in QBR.
But yet, Richie, we're winning games, and he's finding a way to win in the fourth quarter. He's finding a way to come up big in the fourth quarter. 3 times in a row, he has made some type of pass, some type of play to put us in a situation to win. Against the Jets, it was hard to watch. But in that fourth quarter, he had a couple plays where we were able to get in the field goal range. Get the field goal, boom, we win that game. The Eagles, you come back, he had that fourth quarter comeback.
Outscored him 18-0.
Yeah, there you go. And Bo Nix had, made some plays there. And then, obviously, last Sunday against the Giants, 33 points in the fourth quarter, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 2 touchdowns with his arm. He's finding ways to win.
But
no, I'm just trying to add more context because you're saying how bad Bo Nix has done so far when it comes to now from.
I'm not saying it. There's a literal statistical facts.
But it's coming out of your mouth that you're relaying the stats. I'm not saying that it's you.
Well, it kind of sounds like you just said it was me.
I don't know where you stand with Bo.
Yeah,
I don't know where you stand with Bo.
You just watch yourself over there.
So, I just had to put that context in there as well. You're giving facts. You're giving facts. Bo Nix doesn't look like he did the guy that we saw last year. But also, we also have to understand that teams have a full year of film moving forward on how to stop Bo Nix or how to slow him down.
Is it fair to say that the Broncos, who are now 5-2, sitting in sole possession of first place in the AFC West and firmly in the mix in the AFC at large as we look ahead, several weeks down the road at the postseason picture, is it fair to say that offensively, in some key moments and situations, they've been good enough for a quarter here, a quarter there, but overall, it's not sustainably good enough to get where this team thinks they should and maybe will go?
Yeah, Richie, this is definitely not sustainable. You cannot continue to have fourth quarter comebacks. You cannot continue to go into games and have a horrible first 3 quarters and think you're going to win the game. All right, you can't do that against the Dallas Cowboys who are stacking up points every single game. You can't do that against the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, you can't do that against the Chargers when you play them again. So, like, no, this is not sustainable. We have to figure out what's going on with this offense. We have to figure out how to sustain drives, how to get some type of points. It doesn't always have to be touchdowns. But one, move the ball, keep the defense on the sideline so they can rest, but also generate some kind of explosive plays. Bo Nix, get the ball downfield, hit the middle of the field. Isn't that what Sean wanted? The time, the rhythm, the processing, being able to hit the middle of the field, and yet that's not what we're doing. We're not taking shots. You're not hitting the middle of the field. Everything is behind the line of scrimmage and a bunch of screens. I don't get it. I'm not understanding what's going on. I don't understand the rhythm, the rhyme, the reasoning to Sean Payton's madness when it comes to play calling at this point.
Here was Sean Payton's response when asked what the team will look at specifically in their film review of the game against the Giants.
Players haven't been in yet. When they come in, we'll have a chance to go through the tape. We gave up 5 or 6 third and 10 or fourth and long conversions defensively. That's nuts. Offensively, we really didn't amount to anything until we got into the end of the game, fourth quarter. Mental errors, mistakes, snaps, wrong reads, you name it. Thought we were better in the kicking game. We'll have a chance to watch that tape with them, kind of go through the whole game, and then go from there.
I think Sean Payton might have been making a statement there that was veiled in a pretty generic coach speak type of response. I think what I took away from that is Sean Payton saying something that, to be fair, some players in the locker room, namely Mike McGlinchey and others, have said, which is the problems for this offense are not my play calling. If I'm Sean Payton talking to the rest of the media, it's not my scheme and my system that's passed me by. It's the execution. We've got mental errors. We've got mistakes. We've got guys not lining up right. We've got guys not converting. We're making defensive mistakes that put us in a position to have to be more opportunistic offensively and then thus more predictable. And I think Sean Payton's pretty clearly saying there.
So you think he's pointing the finger at the players?
A little bit. Did you? Is that how you read it?
I'm with you, Richie. When you hear this, it's like, okay, defensively, you're saying what they did wrong. Offensively, you're saying what the players did wrong. But yet, you're not critiquing your own self.
Yeah.
You're not taking any type of blame and saying, hey, like, I have to be better as a coach.
Yeah.
That's the
players,
first thing
the
I want.
players aren't running the 47 screen plays I call during the game.
No, but I will say this also. Players make plays. Players win games. That's what a coach thinks. And so it's like, if I call a play, make it look good. But then for Sean, it's like, put the players in the best situation possible. Help them out. But also take some of the fall. Take some of the blame when things are not going right. This is your offense. Your offense is not looking good. It hasn't looked good this whole year. That's not just on the players. Obviously, something is not right, whether it's the run game, the pass game, or just finding your identity. You don't have one yet, and you should, because I've been screaming it since day one when we went to camp.
Yep.
But Sean doesn't want to listen. So now it's like, Sean, take some of the blame. And then you guys go back to work and you hash things out and you figure out how to make this work so that we can be successful offensively, so the defense can play their best because they're well rested. They have more rest to go out there and execute.
Phil, we reached a point during the Giants game on Sunday prior to the historic, epic, once-in-a-generation, may not see it again comeback that the Broncos mounted. We saw on social media Ben DiNucci, a former quarterback in Sean Payton's system, somebody who shared a room on a Sean Payton team.
And Davis Webb,
tweeting out, hey, it might be time for Sean to hand over the headset. It might be time to have somebody else call the plays. And that's going to continue to be a storyline, whether Sean likes it or agrees with it or not, until the offense finds a more consistent rhythm in quarters 1 through 3 and doesn't take the Tebow mania approach of just letting it loose and turning it around in the fourth quarter.
Well, and that's why Sean isn't taking the blame. Because if he takes the blame and says, hey, this is my fault, now all of us are going to be saying, hey, at some point, if this is your fault, it's time to change up. Let Davis Webb get his opportunity. Maybe you need to take a step back because you're the head coach. Take a step back and see it for what it is right now and then go back to work or go back to calling plays when you feel like you have the rhythm down. But Sean's not going to do that. We know how stubborn Sean is. So that's why he's not sitting here at the podium saying, hey, I'm half to blame, which is ridiculous because it's like, dude, this is like we're all in this together. Yes, players make plays, players win games. But the coach, the offensive coordinator, they have to set you up for success. You're the one with the mastermind. You're the one with the game plan. You know all the strength to this team, to this offense, to Bo Nix. Go out there and put it on display. And Sean's not doing that.
He's not. And for those who are curious, because the question has been asked multiple times this season, to Sean Payton, if he would consider giving up play calling in order to help establish and find that rhythm, here was his brief but prevalent response.
No, I think we're comfortable as an offensive staff of how we're operating.
Comfortable. Phil, should the Broncos offensive staff, headed by Sean Payton, be comfortable with their offensive output as a whole, not just isolating fourth quarter drives or comebacks against the Eagles and the Giants, but has the offense shown enough to you from a productivity standpoint that the staff should feel comfortable?
No. I mean, look at it. We're having fourth quarter comebacks. We can't sustain drives. We're going 3 and out. Like, how could you be comfortable? I know for a fact the defense is sitting there saying, hey, guys, don't sit down. Don't sit down. Get your helmets. They're going 3 and out. It's just so funny because it's like Sean's talking for the whole offensive coaching staff. Oh, no, we're comfortable. Yeah. No, you are.
Right.
You're comfortable. And you believe that, like, your plays are working and it's the players. And, like, at some point.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that it's the players not executing more than the system?
I think it's both. I know it's
yes, of course. In reality, there's black and white and there's gray in the middle.
Well, the reason why I'm saying it's both is against the Chargers, Sean did a great job of scheming up some open plays. Bo Nix didn't execute.
3 of them.
Against the Jets, Sean Payton in the red zone schemed up the play to Courtland Sutton for that fade route. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bo Nix that overthrew Courtland Sutton. You know, against what was it? The Colts. Mm-hmm. All right, Sean Payton's scheming up plays where we had 4 drives where he had touchdowns, and Bo Nix has points on the board moving down the field, and he throws the interception. Mm-hmm. That's on the player. But also for Sean, it's like, dude, why are we running so many screens? Why did we run 11 screens on Sunday? Screens are set up plays. They're as you get into rhythm, you got the defense on their heels. Then you throw a screen like the Giants did to us, where Scatterboo was able to get the screen and take it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Why are we not opening up the playbook in the sense of taking shots downfield to your number one receiver who's 6'3", 6'4", 220 pounds?
But isn't that the opposite of what so many people are advocating for, Phil? Is not opening up the playbook, but actually tearing a couple of pages out?
But see, when I mean by opening up the playbook, it doesn't mean like add a bunch of plays. Yeah. It means that like, hey, let's take shots downfield. Let's open up the defense and stretch the defense out so you have more space. A lot of these defenses are playing zone, which for some odd reason, Bo Nix is struggling on zone blitzes. But when you play zone, you have to space everybody out, and there's pockets that come about if you space everybody out and do it the right way. And Sean's not doing that. Everything's behind the line of scrimmage, and that's playing to the defense's strength.
I'll give you something else that I didn't see being a potential storyline or a factor going into the 2025 season when you're talking about after the Bills game when last season ended. Phil, I don't know that NFL defenses really have any sort of fear for Bo Nix's deep ball throwing ability. I think he has thrown an uncharacteristic amount of overthrows. I say uncharacteristic based on 1 year of sample size. That's all we have to go off of.
But he's overthrown the football.
The narrative of Boverthrows, right, that people are making those jokes on social media and all that, I mean, there's evidence to it. There were multiple overthrown deep balls, some of which weren't even catchable against the Giants, and that's been kind of a thing that's popped up more frequently than I thought. And I think that changes how a defense probably approaches a Broncos-centric game plan week to week.
I mean, Richie, when you have a defense that will play man on you because they want to get pressure and give you the one-on-one opportunities, and yet you still can't throw the ball downfield, it's a huge problem. You're right. Defenses are like, let's stop the screens. Let's stop the screens. Now, I could see something coming for Sean where it's like, I'm going to be a little bit more strategic to this in the sense of like, we've been running a bunch of screens. At some point, there's going to be a fake screen, and Courtland's going to be running down the field. So, like, he's setting plays up for later on, but we need to see more shots downfield. Now, I will say this also. You were at camp this year.
Yep.
Zach Bye, myself, we were at camp. And there was not a lot of times when Bo Nix was in the game when he was going for his reps where Bo Nix was taking shots downfield.
Yeah.
Now, every so often he was, but not as much as I wanted him to because you practice how you play. The defense was dominating. Well, they're dominating in the regular season because they practice how they play. The offense struggled throughout camp, and yet this is what they look like in the regular season. They're struggling. So something has to give, and it's time for Sean to open the playbook up by taking the shots, hitting the middle of the field, trusting his quarterback. Let Bo Nix go out there and either succeed, like I said yesterday, or fall on his face. We need to find out. I believe he's the franchise quarterback, but a lot of people out there still are up in the air. I understand why. So let's find out. But let Bo go out there and fly.
I agree with you, Phil, and there's a part of me that thinks the Broncos offense and Sean Payton kind of being at the center of it are kind of caught between this rock and a hard place or that chicken and the egg about which came first debate, because when I watch the Broncos offensively, and this sentiment is echoed here locally within the media and the fan base, and you're seeing it pop up more and more, even from national outside observers who aren't in the weeds as thick as you and me and a lot of us here are, I'm not 100% convinced that Sean Payton has the confidence, as much as he loves his Q.
I love my Q.
I'm not 100% sure that Sean Payton has full, undying confidence in Bo Nix to be able to run and operate the offense that Sean Payton truly does want to run. I think that's one of the only explanations that I can come up with that explains why the offense looks so bland and vanilla and predictable and repetitive, redundant with the screens and the ability to kind of forget about running the football with the lack of identity, but then all of a sudden snaps together in sessions in the fourth quarter, late in games. I think Sean Payton has a very specific way that he wants to run things that he has built over 2 decades or whatever in the NFL. And there's the question of, is Sean Payton calling that game because he doesn't 100% fully trust Bo to run the offense that he wants and therefore is trying to do whatever he can, even if it means being vanilla, bland, boring, and predictable, to not put his quarterback in a bad position?
See, I don't understand that, Richie, because last year...
Protecting his Q.
Well, you're protecting his Q, but last year he let Bo Nix go towards the end of the season. Bo Nix was opening up and throwing deep balls more towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
It seemed like he had a bunch of confidence in Bo then. Now, all of a sudden, in year 2, from the start, you kind of take that away from him, or take it away from him and clip his wings. Like, it's just confusing to me.
The whole
For Sean, you handpicked this man to go out there and be your franchise quarterback, but yet it seems like you're hindering him.
Phil, the whole thing is confused. The whole thing, in some ways, like defies logic and science. That you can have a box score against the New York Giants that goes 0-0-0-33. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
and
the Eagles game, that was something like that.
Yeah, the Giants had to play a part in that as well. They did things to help give that game away as much as the Broncos did to take it. You know, Jackson Dart throws the interception and things like that. But the entire evaluation of the Broncos offense is maddening, to use the word we used earlier, and confusing, because you've seen it work. You see it work in rapid succession with the playmakers that they have. Courtland Sutton, Troy Franklin taking another step, Marvin Mims finding a role, Evan Ingram settling in, J.K. Dobbins leading the backfield.
Yeah.
You see it work. It just feels like it only works 1 out of every 6 or 7 spins of the wheel.
Okay, so with that being said, because I do agree with you. I mean, it's crazy that we're agreeing on a lot of stuff, Richard. We usually don't agree. You're like Zach, where we usually argue. But so is Bo Nix the one holding this offense back? Or is Sean Payton the one, as of right now, that's holding Bo Nix in this offense back from exploding?
I think Bo Nix is holding it back more than Sean. And my reasoning for that is this, Phil, that I think, kind of like what I alluded to earlier, I think Bo Nix has a lot of raw physical talent at the quarterback position. I think he's a hell of an athlete. I think that's why he's so comfortable and desires to get out in space and move with the football and utilize that athleticism. And I think that he is a relentless student of the game, a relentless worker, and somebody that is not afraid to try to take on all of the physical load, all of the mental load, and all of the burden on his shoulders to be the quarterback that helps excel the team. The problem is, I think that mindset, which is a big part of the reason that he is in the position that he's in to be a potential franchise quarterback in the NFL, while that may have helped him significantly to get here, I do think that it causes at times for him to play with a lot of noise upstairs.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot going on. I think he's gripping the wheel really tight.
So when you say a lot of noise to the listeners out there, are you saying like thinking a lot?
Yes.
You think he's thinking too
He
much?
is thinking a lot. He is trying to go above and beyond and potentially overdo it, egged on potentially by his head coach who
Yeah.
loves the intricacies of different personnel formations
Yeah,
and
there's a
different
lot going
groupings and all of that. That is a hallmark of the Sean Payton offense. So you kind of have a flame with a can of gasoline nearby, and then eventually those two just get a little close together and it gets explosive. And I think, unfortunately for the Broncos, the result is not explosive on offense. I think it leads to disjointed nature, confusion, lack of execution. You've got finger pointing. You've got a lack of understanding as to why they are not able to do it for 3+ quarters, and then it clicks. And I think what clicks is you look around to the guy left of you and the guy right of you, and you're like, hey, we got 10 minutes left, and we're down. We got to win this game. Let's just go out there and do it.
But also, you just said you blamed it on Bo, but Bo's actually one of the reasons why we're winning these games at the end there when he's like, you know what, let's just go out there and play. Let's play free. I don't have Sean in my ear telling me all these personnel groupings. I don't have Sean in my ear telling me, hey, my first read is Cortland and my next read needs to be Troy. So now I'm thinking a lot because that's usually what happens when you had that green dot. Is the coach gets in there, he relays the message to you, and then he may say a couple words that are like, hey, like,
They were awesome. They were massive. They were flying around Duncan. They did not, and they were out to prove a point. It wasn't he ha ha.
See, I knew
as
They
you'd
put
like
up
to say.
114. There's no way you do that
I knew they were
accidentally.
going to be serious.
No, dude, they were dead serious.
Yeah.
They were dead serious to the point where, like, and she's a lovely, lovely girl, and I'm forgetting her name. Gentle as a flower, okay? And she covers the team for an Asian outlet, and she's just nice as can be.
Yeah.
And you know who I'm talking
Yes,
about?
yes.
And, I mean, dude, she tried to shoot, and they just, like...
Oh, get it out of here. They were top holder?
Yeah, I'm
Send
saying,
it
like...
send it to the rafters.
He didn't even block it. He just snatched it out of the air. I mean, they were not doing anyone any favors, and these guys were flying around. I'm talking about like skying, reverse dunking,
why so
alley
serious,
oops.
Zach?
Because I think that if you're in that role, and you know the things that I know about the levels to the game of basketball,
yeah,
and you sense that someone doesn't know, and they cover your sport, you're gonna because I'm talking about. I do not think the average person. Or even average media member can sprint as fast as they can towards the hoop and make a layup.
Yeah.
Right? But if someone misses a layup, oh, you're so stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's like that.
Yeah.
And so
you go from dusting the chip crumbs off your chest when you're watching the game to having to be the one.
Yes.
with the
Well,
ball in your hands.
everybody has an opinion on the game.
Yes. And so these guys had a real chip on their shoulder, and they weren't playing. So I'm talking about like Rodney Billups. He's the all-time leading scorer at DU. Like, he's out there giving it 100%. Like, these guys, I'm talking about like 6'10" flying around trying to dunk on
with
people.
JJ Barea.
So he did not play. He did not play. But the guys who were there were incredible. But I'm telling you, and it's I'm actually glad that this happened today. Not that it's like something like
Zach Baez pointing to his MVP trophy, by the way.
Yeah, while
He's like-
shrugging his shoulders
he's
and being like,
I'm not surprised I won this.
Well, the thing is, I'm not from around here.
Yeah.
So when I tell people like, hey, like I really used to do this.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
really used to have fire in my belly and feel desperate when I stepped onto a court.
Some people don't believe it.
And that's the way I felt. Like when I went out there, I'm like this is, you're getting my everything. And I may pop my Achilles. And it started with like, I'm going to grab as many rebounds as I can. So you could take the next person that played, and there was about 30 media members that showed up and played. It was packed. You could take the person that had the second most rebounds and triple it, and it wasn't what I grabbed.
So what are you thinking?
That's a literal statement.
So more than, I said, what did I say, 12? I said 12 rebounds. for you.
Yeah, it would probably be between 12 and 15 rebounds.
Okay, see? All right.
Like well over a rebound per minute.
All we got from Jake Shapiro was a boatload, so we had to know.
That's what Nick O'Hare, the head of PR, when he announced it in front of everyone, he said the only guy, because I think I was the only guy who scored multiple buckets. Anyone else that just scored once.
Yeah.
And so I was able to score multiple buckets, and he said the only guy, the leading scorer, and who grabbed a boatload of rebounds. So I think that's why Jake said it. But I mean, it was so cool. I'm like, it was so cool. The whole market was there. Every radio station, every TV station, and there's guys out there who can really play.
Yeah.
You know, like Vic Lombardi's a good basketball player. Josh Dover's a good basketball player.
Vic was a good basketball player. I didn't know he could shoot.
Yeah. You know, he's like, for his age, he is actually exceptional. Like, but these guys, like they're Adam Mata is former college player. Like these guys are, there were some good players there. And then other players that probably, if you're doing it by merit, shouldn't be there. But it was hysterically fun. I am so thrilled that the Nuggets PR did that, because I think it was an education for our media members of just like
I love it.
the levels and just a reality check. And it was so cool because I'm telling you, as good as those guys were, I made a couple moves where these guys are like,
where did that come from?
who the hell is this?
Yeah.
And the GM is watching. Christian Brown is watching.
All right.
And I'm playing well in front of these guys. So I don't want to act like too cool for school. This just made my day. When my 7-year-old finds out and I bring this trophy home, I'm telling you, it's so cool. I had a college teammate who I hadn't heard from in a few years, Malcolm Williams. He must have saw it somewhere on social media, reached out to me, and that made my day just as much as this. So it just made my day today. On October 21st is just always going to be a good day for me.
It validates. What Zach has said a bunch of stuff about him.
I'm keeping an eye on that
playing
NBA
basketball.
wire for a 10-day contract.
That's what I'm saying. But it validates.
That's going to be.
Everybody always feels like they can play basketball. For some odd reason, everybody feels like they can play basketball until you have to go out there and you really do it. And obviously, a bunch of people got humbled.
Totally.
I'm glad that a bunch of people got humbled, because there's too many people out there that just want to say something, but they really don't know how it is.
Well, I love it. And again, I hadn't played in 4.5 years. Something woke up inside of me and just
the dog came out.
And just playing as hard as I can. And just like
that spot on the mantle looks a little dusty. Let's find something to fill that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you what, man. So
Awesome.
cool. So cool. So cool.
MVP.
All right. I love it. ZB, appreciate the work you put in on behalf of the fan there, winning the Skills Challenge MVP. We will step aside with the 3 count coming your way next.
The Fan Flyaway is back, presented by 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. To kick off 2026, Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is sending you to Phoenix for the biggest party in golf. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money, all included. Head to thefanflyaway.com to register. That's thefanflyaway.com. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Broncos country, you already know what time it is. It's football season, which means summer is officially over, and that means it's all about the game days. Whether you're heading to Empower Field or traveling up to Boulder to cheer on Coach Prime and the Buffs, you know you need to get there on time and in style. And speaking of going to the Broncos games, you can get 30% off of your ride to the game with Hermes Worldwide for the entire season. All I need you to do is mention the code PL30. Again, mention that code PL30 when you book your luxury transportation to Empower Field. And let my friends at Hermes Worldwide handle all the traffic and parking hassles. Let them get you to and from the game safely so you can focus on the important stuff, like watching your favorite team stack those wins or making as many memories as possible with your loved ones and friends. So give Hermes Worldwide a call today at 577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/Denver Sports. Again, you can give them a call at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/Denver Sports to book your next ride today.
Are joint pain or injuries keeping you from living your best life? I'm Dr. Joel Chernak with Denver Regenerative Medicine. We don't believe in one size fits all. Instead, we create personalized stem cell treatment plans using your own stem cells or donor cells to help regenerate joints, repair torn muscles and ligaments, and restore mobility. For a limited time, get 10% off through October. Don't wait. Book your free consultation now at denverregen.com. That's denverregen.com.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I should have had Done Right do it. Don't be that person that says this after ordering your remodeling project. Hi folks, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. Simply put, we make people happy by being particular, just like you. 800-362-8370.
Most people don't think about their garage door until it stops working. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. There's never a good time for your garage door to break, whether you're rushing to work or you're trying to get the kids to school. We know how much you rely on your garage door. That's why we offer same-day repairs, because life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage door is what we do, but making your life easier and your home safer is why we do it. Families trust us because we deliver, and we'd be honored to earn your trust too. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
At 303 Law 4040, we know getting into an accident stinks, and so does getting worked over by the insurance company or even your slick-talking made-for-TV lawyer. So if we can help, just give us a call. 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303 Law 4040.
Catch Telestrator Tuesday weekly on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, where Stink or Stoke dive into the past weekend's games with a coach's eye, using insights into what went right and wrong on critical plays. Telestrator Tuesdays, powered by Colorado Credit Union. Love where you live. Love where you bank.
How good does it feel to let go of 82 pounds in just 16 weeks? And I feel free. Soda Weight Loss is the #1 weight loss company in America for client satisfaction and results.
In 16 weeks, I lost 82 pounds because I had learned how to eat smarter. And that's what soda does. They don't just help you lose weight fast, they help you keep it off with habits that last a lifetime.
No hunger, no shots, no guesswork.
You probably saved my life. I mean, I was 30 pounds overweight. I went on soda, and now I'm healthy, and I just got off my blood pressure medicine and my cholesterol medicine, and that is amazing to me.
With Soda Weight Loss, you get real support to help you let go of the weight for good. And now it's easier than ever. Join Soda Weight Loss now, and your partner joins for free. Visit sodaweightloss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
Join Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan and Athletic at Mile High Station on Sunday, October 26th from noon to 2:25 p.m. for the Fan Football pregame show. Get your head in the game and enjoy orange and blue face painting and ice-cold Athletic. Athletic, all in, all game.
Hey, Stokely here, and let me tell you,
Fall golf is the best golf Colorado has to offer, and it's not too late to get fully dialed in for the last few months of the season. At Embers Golf in Westminster, they're not just selling golf clubs, they're crafting a journey for golf lovers like you. It's a boutique-style shop, family-owned, with 2 hitting bays, all the major brands, and fully upgraded custom shafts. Come in for a full bag fitting. Trust me, there's nothing else like it around. Embers Golf, where your golf journey begins.
Want to partake in our contests? Check out the rules at denversports.com. Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Denver.
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on the drive.
All right, let's come off the top rope with it!
Woo! MVP!
Oh, man.
You already described it.
So cool.
But if people want to come in and watch, they can, right?
Yes.
They can come in.
Yeah, you can go to denversports.com or YouTube, and we have the MVP trophy. And huge shout out to Nick O'Hare, Cody Wise, like the whole PR department for doing this. And, like, dude, Christian Brown was there watching the game.
New contract and everything. He's like, give ZB a 10-day contract. Give him some money now.
Dude, I'm getting a bucket. And I'm running back, and I'm watching the GM, John Wallace, watch me. You can't make that up.
John Wallace knows talent.
Oh, my gosh.
That's why he was able to acquire people. Maybe you're going to be the next one.
Oh, my gosh. You can't make it up. Dude, this time yesterday, I didn't know that I was going to play. And made the decision during the show. Thank you to Richie Carney for pinch hitting. Let me do that. And Amanda Brown, I'm assuming that she greenlit that it was okay for me to miss part of the show to go play.
Dude, you just won MVP.
You can't make it up.
The thing is, you have to let somebody that's going to win MVP play.
Oh my
if you didn't play, there probably would have been an MVP out there. They probably would have just said, you know what, let's just go, guys.
Oh, my gosh.
That's good, man. Good stuff out there.
It's so cool, man. All right, what are we talking about here? I got to get focused. Where are the Broncos in the power rankings? Tuesday is when the power rankings come out. ESPN actually did the same thing that happened a week ago with a different outlet, where they win the game, but they get docked and knocked down a spot in the power rankings. ESPN had them 10th last week. They're 11th this week. They watched the same offense that we did, apparently, and aren't putting enough stock there into that fourth quarter. NFL.com has the Broncos at 10th, up 1 spot from last week. CBS has the Broncos all the way at 6th. No movement. Pro Football Talk has the Broncos as the 5th best team in the NFL. So a wide range. Some people have them inside the top 5. Another outlet like ESPN has them outside of the top 10. Which power ranking would you sync up with?
I'm going to still keep them inside the top 10. But I think when we did this, I want to say last week, I had them like 5 or 6. Now I'm not there. I'm going to go 8.
Okay, I like that.
Like inside the top 10, they're at number 8. The offense has to wake up. Richie and I talked about it earlier. Sean needs to do a better job. Bo Nix needs to do a better job. And the defense is doing their job, but they need help. And, of course, special teams as well. So I'm going to put them at number 8. There's still a lot of work to be done, but they're still winning games. 5-2, baby.
I like that. I will co-sign that at number 8. I like that. Next in 3 count.
1, 2.
All right. The Avs released their Nordiques jerseys, honoring their heritage, to celebrate their 30th anniversary. You can see a lot of that 30. They have a little logo there that you'll see throughout the season to commemorate the 30th season. The Avs will wear these quote-unquote throwbacks 7 times this season, with the first being this Thursday, October 23rd. The team store is already selling the jerseys and more Quebec Nordiques apparel. Have you seen these jerseys? What do you think of them?
You know what? I'm okay with it. It's a throwback. It's still blue. It's gonna look pretty sweet as those guys fly around that ice. It's a change up. So I'm okay with it. I actually liked it. What about you, man?
Yeah, you know what? I said a week or 2 ago, I don't really care about anything that happened with the Avs before they were the Avs, when they were playing in Quebec. And in a lot of ways, that's true when it's like comes to records and things like that. But I do in this instance, I like it. It's a hat tip because, and I have to mention this, if like that, those people in Quebec had their team ripped from them.
And I didn't think about it like that.
Like, that scars a community when you lose a team. And we love having the Avs here. And I think that it's a nice homage being paid, like a hat tip and a wink to the past.
Yeah, the respect. We acknowledge what you guys used to do.
That's the perfect word. It's an acknowledgement of where the team came from. So in this instance, I do like it. Next in the 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
All right, tonight is the opening night of the NBA. Tonight,
crazy.
It's the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder will host the new look Rockets, and then Luka and the Lakers will host the Warriors in the second of back-to-back. Both games will be on NBC. NBA basketball back on NBC. It's just a new page being turned. You fired up for the season?
Oh, I'm ready for the season. The Nuggets are new and improved, and of course, this game tonight against the Thunder, I want to see what they look like. I want to see if they still. Of course, they're going to have their fastball, but what do they look like the first game of the year? And then for KD, what do you look like on a new team?
Yeah. You know what I don't like, though? And I was talking with Dante about this off the air yesterday. The first game of the season for the Nuggets will be the Warriors on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And I don't like the fact that the Warriors get a game up, a game to iron out some of the first game jitters, lineups, rotations. And so the Nuggets, I think, will be behind the 8 ball to a certain degree because they're integrating so many new players. And the Warriors made a big move last year during the season, so they've got to play with each other.
Yeah.
So I don't like that dynamic, but I am thrilled that NBA basketball is back, and I'll be watching both of these games for sure. Okay. Do we have a potential controversy brewing in Denver sports? A controversy that's rooted in a good thing? That's next.
After a 2-5 start, Colorado State has fired head football coach Jay Norvell. Read the latest news and information on the changes in Fort Collins at denversports.com. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Denver fans, game day starts at Twin Peaks. Your hometown football HQ is giving away exclusive team jerseys every game day. Catch every Denver matchup, cheer loud, and you could score big. Just ask your Twin Peaks girl for the play-by-play. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Another summer has ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time. Maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. And if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic and get treated for your low T. Because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Hey guys, it's Zach By here for 5280 Exteriors. Right now, they've got a great deal on windows, so take advantage before the snow starts falling. Order your windows in October, finance your project with them, and you won't pay anything until November of 2027. Be warm during the holidays. Don't wait to upgrade your home. Order windows or siding from 5280 Exteriors before the cold weather arrives. Call 5280 Exteriors now and see how low your monthly payment can go. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Hey, Stoke here. At Colorado Joint Replacement, your hip or knee replacement surgery is their first priority. They completed over 27,000 joint replacements since 2005, and their expert surgeons are committed to helping you get back to the life you love. To schedule an appointment, visit coloradojoint.org.
Some things in life should never be trial and error, like do-it-yourself dentistry or messing with your home's electrical wiring. That's where Piper Electric comes in. They've been powering homes with expert electrical service since 1983. From simple fixes to commercial and industrial work. Need an EV charger? They'll plug you in without the sparks. Right now, get $50 off your next service. Call 303-422-9219 before you DIY yourself back into the dark ages. Piper Electric. Leave the electricity to the experts.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Don't miss Colorado football's 2 remaining home games of the 2025 season. Celebrate homecoming with the Buffaloes as CU faces the Arizona Wildcats on Saturday, November 1st. Then lock in your seats for Senior Day against the reigning Big 12 champs, Arizona State, on November 22nd. Great seats are still available at beautiful Folsom Field. Visit cubus.com/tickets or call 303-492-8282 and be there as Ralphie 7 leads the charge for your Colorado Buffaloes.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer, exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney, Tuesday afternoons on The Drive, and Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, all season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, denversports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay.
Do we have a potential controversy brewing in Denver sports? A controversy that could be rooted in a good thing. Really, not could be, is rooted in a good thing.
MVP.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I love it.
Gosh.
All right, back to it. I'm sorry.
No, I love it. I love it.
Big ass trophy sitting in front of me.
I love it. You can't say MVP too many times today.
Oh, okay.
It's impossible.
All right.
And if you're just joining us and don't know, I was named the MVP of the media against the coaches for the Denver Nuggets today.
Every media member was out there, and yet Zach By.
Oh, my God.
On top.
Too funny.
Come on.
Too funny.
You can't make it up.
Too funny. So we do have the MVP trophy, which is large, sitting between us here in the studio.
Your son, now are you gonna give it to him, put it in the room, or do you have a trophy case?
Yeah, he can. No, I don't have a trophy case, but he can. He'll probably sit right in his room. He is going to be so happy for Dad. He hasn't seen me. He doesn't know me as a basketball player. Because I stopped playing.
Yeah, I wish he would. He's in school.
Yeah,
obviously.
But my wife said, "Man, I wish you would have pulled him out of school." And I'm like, Ash, I didn't play basketball in 4.5 years. I don't know if I'm going to pop my Achilles or win the MVP. You know, so like,
yeah,
I just don't know.
You know what? Once in a lifetime experience, he would have met Christian Brown.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
You know,
that would have been cool. That would have been cool.
It's next year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Win MVP again.
Well, I said to my wife, I said, I may never play again.
Oh, so you're retiring?
Dude, they have to engrave my name on the trophy, and like it can only go down from here. I won the MVP my first ever time doing it, and they haven't done this game since 2018.
Zach, you're in your prime.
So
you're like Jokic. We're in the thick of things.
Oh my gosh!
One more MVP is not gonna hurt.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Okay. Scott Wedgwood. Scott Wedgwood has allowed just 1 goal in 5 of the 6 games for the Avs this year. And I'm watching this guy. Like, I'm watching him on Saturday night. It just make saves that I'm like, I cannot believe this is supposed to be the backup. Scott Wedgwood has a 1.48 goal against average. It's second in the entire league.
He's standing on his head. Like, we talk about, like, oh, yeah, a great game. No. he's putting together great games. Is that plural?
Yes.
Games. And that means that the man has confidence through the roof. That means that the players around him, his teammates, have confidence in him. And they're playing fast.
Yeah.
This team is well put together and has a bunch of depth. But Wedgwood, who would have thought him being the backup?
Crazy.
The backup goalie out there making saves that he is. The only loss of the season so far for the Avs came in a shootout.
Right.
That's not on Wedgwood.
No.
No.
Absolutely not. And I'm glad you brought that up because the Avs have allowed just 9 non-shootout goals in 6 games. That's the best mark in the entire NHL. And Wedgwood, dude, in his last 15 starts, going back to March of last season, I can't believe this is true. Scott Wedgwood is 13-0-2 in his last 15 starts for the Avs, and he's not the starter. So I don't know what is going to happen here when Mackenzie Blackwood gets back into the fold, which should be happening pretty soon here.
The window's opened up.
Yeah, right. So yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Jared Bednar's going to do here.
I went back and forth on this because it's just like anybody else. It's like a backup quarterback having success, but you have a starter that you're paying a lot of money for. What are you going to do? Are you gonna bench your starting quarterback just because your backup's doing well? Or are you saying this like, hey, it's great that we have 2 guys that we can count on. Now we have to get our starter going, who we paid a lot of money for. In this case, that's Blackwood. It's Mackenzie Blackwood for you, who you just signed a 5-year deal for a little over $26 million.
You're on it.
Not to sit the bench, but to be the starter. Now, we also know that we don't know what he's technically dealing with because hockey is weird and they give you the lower body injury, upper body injury.
Secretive.
So it's one of these things where you have the luxury now because Wedgwood is playing so well that you can ease Blackwood into it. But, Zach, you're going to have to start Blackwood because you're paying him a big-time contract to be out there on that ice, not cheer on the backup.
Right. Well, I'll say this. You're probably right. Oftentimes in sports, money does dictate things that maybe it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to you in the game of football about, different scenarios, and you're like, it's about the team. And whoever's going to give you the best chance to win, even if your first rounder might not play right away. And so we've had conversations like that, and I'm just wondering if Scott Wedgwood, 13-0-2 in your last 15 starts, having the second best goals against average in the league, the performance it's at such a level, it's got to be a conversation. And if it's not, and it's probably not going to be, because ultimately you'll probably be right, but I think the order of operations and how much Wedgwood plays is a real conversation.
Well, I'll tell you this, Wedgwood is making himself some money. In his head, it's like, you're making yourself some money. Play this the right way. You know that the starter will come back. Mackenzie Blackwood will come back. He's going to have his flowers early. You just keep sharp. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay focused because we're going to need you. We all know that.
Totally.
You're going to play.
Totally.
But don't cloud your mind all of a sudden because the guy jumps right back in front of you when you know it's going to happen. And from what I've heard is Blackwood and Wedgwood are good friends. They respect each other. They have a good relationship. So they understand the game.
Yep.
That's just like me and Royce Freeman. When I started, when Royce was the starter and he got hurt, it was week 5 or 6, Zach, against the Arizona Cardinals. And the next week they're like, hey, Phil, you're up. You're the starting running back. And they actually told me, if you go out there and you do your thing, we may move forward with you. So I'm like, all right, that's cool for me. I go out there and I have a great game. Well, now when Royce comes back, it was a little awkward at the beginning. We're sitting there and I'm sitting there waiting to be called in for practice. He's waiting too. And it's like, I don't want to just walk out there and say I'm the starter because I don't know. He's doing the exact same thing. And then they say, hey, Phil, you're up. So it was a little awkward. But for Royce and I talked about it. We talked about it and, we understood this is a business and we started to learn about it. But we're great friends till this day just because we have that respect for each other. And I'm hoping that Mackenzie Blackwood and Wedgwood have that same relationship.
Yeah, well, first of all, that's a great point of reference from a personal story from a similar situation from you, going back to your early days with the Broncos. But this is tricky because the guys in the room are seeing this too. You're not making the decision in a vacuum.
Yeah.
The guys see what's going on. And let's see how this ages. Let's see how it plays out. But it's it could be a potential controversy in a that's rooted in a really good thing.
And it's going to put pressure on Blackwood right off the bat.
Sure.
When he comes back, it's like, hey, dude, they're not messing around, because you know how Nathan McKinnon and Kell are.
Right.
And how they were to Georgiev and Onanen.
Yes.
When things went wrong,
Yep.
they weren't afraid to isolate themselves from their goalies and say, hey, look, it's on them.
Yep. And I'll say this too with that dynamic. They're like Georgiev, he was also a different dude.
Yeah.
So when his performance slipped, I think that was easier to happen. And in this situation, I think both Blackwood and Wedgwood, and they're going to have their quirks, their goalies, but I think they're one of the fellas. They're one of the boys. So hopefully that doesn't that dynamic doesn't grow here. But relevant conversation, no doubt. We'll see how it goes down tonight. Avs on ESPN against the Mammoth. 8 o'clock start on paper. It'll be more like 8:20. Okay, we're going to talk to James Palmer. And I got to tell you, did you see the tweet that Russell Wilson sent about Sean Payton?
Woo-wee!
Holy moly. Maybe the spiciest thing that Russell Wilson has done since his Danger Witch at Subway. We'll pass along the details coming up next.
After getting walked off twice in the first 3 games of the season, the Broncos walked off the Giants and claimed first place in the AFC West. Say it loud, Broncos country. Let's go Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Happy holidays, Colorado.
Dave, come on. Isn't that a little early?
No. Who wants to wait for savings? No one. Lock in our below-market 4.75 5-year fixed, 5.81 APR.
Wait, you have a 4.75% rate fixed for 5 years?
Yes, and it comes with our lowest rate for life program. Our trademark lowest rate for life program allows you to lock in savings today, and if the market does improve after you close, even as little as 0.5%, we can redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee. And there's no limit to the number of times you can use this. This is the best program in the industry. Plus, our holiday bonus, no payments until January of 26, and access up to $15,000 cash benefits just in time for the holidays. Call us now at 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Heads up, pros. Now's your chance to unlock deeper savings. The Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred pricing can help you save thousands on the products your business uses the most. But the current benefit ends November 15th. Don't miss out. Registration for the new program is free and easy. Just bring your tax ID or business or contractor's license to the Pro Desk. Register now to lock in the best wholesale prices before it's too late.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity, and the other day I'm over at a friend's place. He's pumped to watch football, but his setup, total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find a game. He claimed to be a big fan, but I feel like I was being fan-fished. See, If you call yourself a football fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place. And the way I watch, well, it's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like I'm in the stadium. Sometimes I've got 4 games going on at once. Why? Because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications, live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every single time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K cable TV box.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
James Palmer joins us on Tuesdays right around this time. And, James, I mean, a little curveball to start here. Little curveball to start. Oh, did you see the tweet that Russell Wilson sent out?
Curveball? The whole world's seen that tweet.
I mean, well, and a curveball. No. A curveball in a sense of we're not going to talk about the Broncos game right out of the gate. We're going to talk about like this tweet. I mean, Russell Wilson. Okay, so just to set this up the right way, then I want to get your reaction. I want to get your reaction, James. Sean Payton said in the post-game press conference, unprompted, of course, he wasn't asked anything about this. He just navigated his way to it because he's Sean. He said, I talked to the Maras, and I'm close with them, and I talked to John Mara, and I said, man, I was really hoping that you guys weren't going to make the change at quarterback until after you played us. Ipso facto saying, we wanted to play Russell Wilson. It would have been an easier game. Doesn't take a scientist to figure that out. Russell Wilson jumps on Twitter. I can't believe this is true. I had to check it like 3 times to make sure I wasn't getting got.
I thought the same thing.
He tweeted, classless, but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 years later through the media. Crying face, hashtag, let's ride. Holy God. James,
let's ride.
James, what is your reaction to this? And I'm shocked because Russell usually doesn't get down in the trenches like that. What do you think about this dynamic that is still going on here?
Yeah, this is not Russ, guys. This is everything is great. Everything is rainbows. Everything is sunshine. That is Russell Wilson. And honestly, I kind of always admired it about him a little bit. It's like you can't get him down. You can't bother him. He's always positive. Wish I lived my life that way, honestly. But it shocked me that it came out. Like, it really did shock me that it came out, that he responded with it. What Sean did not shock me. That is the way Sean kind of operates. Let's be honest. I personally think that's a little bit. You could use that as one of the many examples, Zach, of why a lot of players like playing for Sean. When the number of players I talked to in that locker room after the game on Sunday that loved that he ran out onto the middle of the field after the PI, they thought it was him getting their back, him getting Riley Moss's back. Like, those are the type of things where Sean does things that I don't think you see a lot of other coaches do. I saw him walking through the locker room at the end of the game, Zach, and he's strutting going in the Sean Payton walk, and he's strutting going, I want you boys to visit me at the nursing home and tell me about this game. Oh, wow. I want you guys to, Jonathan Franklin Myers, you got to come visit me in the nursing home and remind me about these 33 points. And he's high-fiving everybody down, getting everybody fired up. This is the way he operates. He digs. He prods. The Russ part was surprising. The Sean part was not.
James, let's stay on Sean Payton. Sean Payton, when it comes to his offense specifically, it seems like it's struggling. And you have a lot of people out there on Twitter, or they call it X now, and half it seems like half the fan base is saying that this is Sean's fault, and the other half is saying that it's Bo's fault. So for you, where do you stand with this? Whose fault is it? In the blame pie, who gets the most blame as of right now?
Never heard of a blame pie? I love it. Shameless plug. Steve Smith and I, on our show 89, it dropped on YouTube today, talked for about an hour about this Broncos offense. And I contacted a bunch of defensive coaches that I know that have faced this Broncos offense. And multiple things can be true at the same time. Did I hear from more than one coach that Sean has been a bit predictable and these defenses have figured him out a little bit and he has been a little bit slow to adjust and change? True. They feel that way. Do these coaches also believe that Sean at the same time has been scheming guys open? And there have been guys that have been schemed open deep and Bo has missed them. Like I had one defensive coordinator tell me, Phil, like Bo just is not a good deep ball thrower. At least this season he's not right now. I mean, he's arguably, if you look at the statistics and the advanced metrics, he's arguably the worst deep ball thrower in football this year.
It's true.
So that falls on Bo. So what I'm saying is there's issues all around in the way that this is looked at by defensive coaches that have faced this team. Can Sean still scheme guys open? Certainly. Can Sean get, a bit predictable at times? You saw that from the Giants defensive line calling out at the number of screens. They saw certain things coming and they read it and they knew it. They're not the only defense that have seen some of that. But also I'm curious if Sean's calling some of that stuff because over 10 yards, Bo has just not been very good. So is he hamstrung by his quarterback in the way he's calling a game? And in essence, that's a question that some of these defensive coaches are asking themselves as well. And so the other part is the rhythm aspect of it. Now, defensive coaches believe that have gone against this team that Bo's a rhythm player. And the number of personnel changes that happen, I know there's other guys I've talked to in this offense that have had a little bit of an issue coming on the field, coming off the field, coming on the field, coming off the field. And it's hard to stay kind of in that rhythm. But there's two sides to everything because also these coaches will tell you Sean's a genius at making sure players are on the field to do exactly what they do best and avoids putting them in positions where they are put in a spot to do something that they're not very good at. So, there's a lot of different ways to look at the way that this offense is struggling for sure. But I was surprised by some of the comments about Bo and about the way he's playing the position right now, that some defensive coaches are just not overly impressed, I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate you sharing that, and I know our audience does. And what makes things even maybe more complicated is that you went 3 quarters, didn't score a single point. The fourth quarter starts, you're down so big, you have to get away from your personnel groupings. Yeah. You have to go 2-minute. And so guys are out there building a rhythm instead of doing the NASCAR in and out like a pit crew. And that's when you had your most success. So and then in the post game, Sean says, in the fourth quarter, we had to go 2-minute, and I don't want to talk about tempo. Like he knew it was coming and he's getting out in front of it. But the relationship of the first 3 quarters Sean's way and then the fourth quarter in having to do what they did out of a necessity is a really, really interesting wrinkle into this conversation that's already been happening.
Very true. Very true. And I actually said that to Steve in our conversation. And I was like, he's an athlete, Steve. Like he plays in rhythm. You see the way he plays he's kind of like a Zach Bye out there winning the media MVP award.
Wow.
He's an athlete.
Wow.
He's an athlete. He's doing it.
Let's go.
So I said that to Steve and I was like, he's a rhythm guy. He likes to play the up tempo. And he's like, whoa. The stuff we saw in the fourth quarter, it's not the tempo of it. It's the 2-minute and it's simplified. He's able to play quick because it's easier. There's less there. And that's from a former great player's opinion of how this offense operates in that spot. What I would say is this. Talking to these coaches, because I was doing a deep dive after this game because I was just not impressed after the 3 quarters, and I wanted to know what people thought. Bo has taken somewhat of a sophomore slump regression, but here's the take from these coaches. That's not a bad thing. That happens to every player that has 20 games of film out there on them now. There's a book, and now he has to work his way through that, I'm told. And that makes sense, right? And that makes sense of why Sean might be pushing this a little bit too. You can't rely too much on the couple things that your quarterback's very comfortable doing. You have to keep expanding the way he plays the position or you're not going to get anywhere. It's kind of resembles what Jackson Dart did in this game is the kind of the way Bo was last year. It's a little bit similar to, hey man, you got a couple reads. I know Jackson's changed some things in the line of scrimmage and some coaches have been impressed about that around the league, but also if it's not there, take off. You know what I mean? Get a couple. And so I kind of see this evolution don't dogbo too much about it right now, because what I'm being told is this is normal, right? And if you want to grow, you got to fight through this, and we'll see how Bo fights through it.
James, and although it is normal and it's like one of these things where it takes time to get better, especially when there's a bunch of film out there on you. For Sean, though, this is his offense. When you look at this offense as of right now, like, what do you think of it? Like, what's the identity? And I always bring this up, and people get tired of me saying this, but you have to have some type of identity of who you want to be in order for you to have success when you get to the playoffs. When it comes to the Denver Broncos, who are they?
I think if you look at, Pat, go way back with Sean, and he really liked running the ball. Like, he really did. And he stuck with it more. And I look at the two teams that have the offenses that I think everybody in the league is watching, in Indianapolis and Seattle. Indianapolis runs it tremendously. Guess what? Seattle doesn't run it great, but do they always run it? Yes, because it keeps you honest and it keeps you balanced. And that's the biggest thing I hear about Sean's scheme when you talk about guys who go against it. And I'm not dogging his scheme. There's plenty of guys around the league who still think he's one of the better play callers in football, and it's still a really good scheme, and guys are open. But if you're not running the football effectively, I'm told, some of the stuff that he schemes, you don't even have to worry about. And I don't know, obviously, all the intricacies, because I'm not a defensive coordinator, of what that means. But I listen to that and my ears kind of perk up going, okay, there's some things we can cross off in terms of getting beat deep or getting beat in certain manners against Sean if they're not running the football effectively. And so to me, with the way Dobbins and Harvey and the resources you put to your backfield as a weapon, is your identity to run the football? With the way your quarterback is playing, I think it should be.
James, great stuff as always. We appreciate your time, and we'll do this again next week.
Yeah, congratulations again, man. I wish I was invited. I would have loved to just witness, maybe take some pictures. MVP. MVP. Glory, guys. Were you having flashbacks of your glory days?
Man,
was it?
Well,
or are you sore?
No, I'm very sore. And
Okay.
I hadn't played basketball in 4.5 years until Saturday. I played in a 3-on-3 game on Saturday. And then today went out and won the.
Well, see, and Zach Bye, he's not letting you know, but he did that 3-on-3 tournament and he won the championship. And now all of a sudden, on a Tuesday, wins the MVP.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
For 3 weeks, I guarantee it.
I'll tell you this. Life is short. Life is short. So I'm gonna let myself enjoy this today.
As you should.
Oh, you should enjoy yourself. I'd be happy if I just got out of there without a torn Achilles. Like that'd be the pleasure for me. But you're carrying a trophy out.
Oh, I love it. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you.
All right, guys, take it easy.
All right, I want to react to a couple things that he said, and also this tweet from Russell Wilson about Sean Payton is going crazy. We'll break it down next.
The Fan Flyaway is back, presented by 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. To kick off 2026, Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is sending you to Phoenix for the biggest party in golf. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. Head to thefanflyaway.com to register. That's thefanflyaway.com. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Highly specialized, life-changing heart care. From preventive screenings to personalized treatment options, it's heartfelt care from expert hands. The Advent Health Heart and Vascular Institute is now open, ready to provide wholehearted care for your whole health.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. how healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on, and how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and autopay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Mike Rowe here with another fun fact. If your concrete is cracked or uneven, you can actually lift it back up. Whether it's a sinking driveway, a patio, or a sidewalk, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to lift your concrete slabs. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
They say there's no such thing as a free lunch. But not true, I say. Hey, everybody, Dan Jacobs with Jacobs Law and 303 Law 4040, and I'm here to tell you about the best, absolute best free meal in all of Denver. Times are tight right now. You go to the grocery store, things are insane. So we all could use a little bit of help. No questions asked. Anybody that needs it can come by every first and third Thursday. Here's how it works. You pull up, you pop your trunk. They put free groceries for the week in your trunk, and they say, how many hot meals do you need? We pass those to you right through your window, and this is good stuff. This is not soup kitchen stuff. I smoke these meats personally. Delicious pulled pork. I got my special secret Chipotle chicken recipe. It is fantastic. Please help us spread the word. Anybody that needs it, Smoky Hill and Arapahoe Road every first and third Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me personally. It's Dan Jacobs at 303 Law 4040.
Announcing Williams Jewelers Annual Antique and Vintage Jewelry Trunk Show, October 23rd through 25th.
Come shop millions in estate, antique, pre-owned jewelry, and engagement rings that are precious, rare, and truly collectible.
Art Deco and Art Nouveau pieces, including signed Cartier, Van Cleef, Tiffany, David Webb, and many more.
If you're a jewelry collector, you just don't want to miss it.
Many of these finely crafted treasures could not be duplicated today. Most are handcrafted and one of a kind.
Williams Jewelers Annual Antique and Vintage Jewelry Trunk Show. 3 big days only, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, October 23rd, 24th, and 25th.
We're in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue between Fillmore and Detroit.
Williams Jewelers Antique and Vintage Jewelry Trunk Show.
It's Denver's estate jewelry event of the year.
Don't miss it.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Williams Jewelers in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue between Fillmore and Detroit, where Colorado shines.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowner moved into their new home before their old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with Orchard's free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Join Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan and Athletic at Mile High Station on Sunday, October 26th from noon to 2:25 p.m. for the Fan Football pregame show. Get your head in the game and enjoy orange and blue face painting and ice-cold Athletic. Athletic, all in, all game.
Tune in to Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Wednesdays at 9:15 to hear ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky break down Bo Nix and the Broncos every week during football season. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan, denversports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay on Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan.
All right, I want to react to a couple of things that James Palmer said, but I also want to react to this Russell Wilson tweet.
A lot going on
There is.
today. I
There
mean,
is.
MVP in here. You got Russ.
Crazy.
That's just tired of it. And you say, I'm tired of it. I'm ready to fire back.
Let's just start there.
Let's go there.
Let's do that one first, because this is as uncharacteristic of a move for Russell Wilson, because Russell is so image-driven. He is so brand-driven.
Yeah.
And almost never wants to do anything that could even put a wrinkle in his, what he believes is a sterling image. Walter Payton, Man of the Year, always take the high road. Everything's got to be positive at all times. The phraseology that we were using during that year, 2022, was toxic positivity. It's like, dude, everything's going terrible right now.
It's just like a robot.
Yes.
It's like, do you have emotion?
Yes.
Are you a human being? It's okay to cry. It's okay to be upset. It shows that you care.
Yes.
That's what you would think.
And Russ was just so maddening in that department, because he would come across to regular people as delusional. And so the fact that he sent this tweet today, and let's go over it. First, let's talk about Sean. Sean took the shot.
You called it yesterday, by the way. I was at the Sean taking the shot, because we talked about it. We talked about it later on. But you said, hey, did you hear about this thing that the Sean talked about? It's a shot at Russ.
Yes.
I didn't even put it together when I was
So
listening.
when you heard it for the first time, it didn't click.
I'm just like, okay, like maybe I was so worried about the offense and what he wanted to say about the offense.
Yep.
My man's out here taking shots.
It's incredible. So Sean, during an answer in the post game on Sunday, was asked about the Giants, he was asked about something unrelated, and steered the car towards the Giants. And he said, look, I began my offensive coaching career there, and I was the OC. We went to the Super Bowl, and I coached here right before 9/11, and and he said, I'm close with the Maras, and I think he said the Tisch family.
Yeah.
And he said, and I told Mr. Mara, man, I was really hoping you would make that change at quarterback after you played us. Now, you could take it that, man, he's just really impressed with Jackson Dart. But if you know Sean and you know how he can be, he is vindictive. If there's an opportunity to twist the knife, he will. So that was more a shot of, man, we wanted to actually play Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Today would have been a lot easier if we were playing Russ. And Russell sends this tweet, quote, classless, but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 years later through the media. Smiling sunglass emoji, followed by some crying, laughing faces, followed with hashtag let's ride. I mean, I literally had to check this several times because I'm like, there's no way Russell Wilson would send this tweet. I'm being fooled by AI or by a fake account or a parody account, and I'm just triple checking. I'm like, this is real. What do you make of this?
You know what, Zach? At some point, everybody has a boiling point where it's just enough. In Russ's case, everybody has been going at Russ. Everybody hates Russ. Sean Payton hates Russ. But Russell hasn't been here for 2 years now. And yet, you go into you go out to the podium. If you're Sean, you go up to the podium and you go out of your way to take a shot at Russell Wilson. He's not even playing.
Right.
Honestly, he shouldn't even be the backup.
No, he shouldn't. You're right.
And you take that shot at him. I'm glad Russ decided to do something about it. It shows that you are human.
Right.
He's better than me because I would have flew back here and said, let's go, Sean. Like, you want to keep taking these shots. You want to keep doing these things, and yet I'm not saying anything, but that's done. It's over. Because we all know, and Russ probably knows that this is pretty much almost the end for him.
Yeah.
But he's had enough with it. So I was okay with Russ taking that shot back. Go ahead. If Sean's going to do it, Russ, you do it too.
Well, here's the initial comment from Sean. Dante scooped it up from the weekend. This is the initial, I'm going to call it a subliminal shot. Rappers are famous for this. The subliminal shot, the reference without actually saying their name. Here's Sean Payton.
I have a ton of respect for that organization. I spent 4 of my early years there. coordinating Super Bowl, first game in this stadium before 9/11, close with the mayor, Tisch family. You know, they found a little spark with that quarterback. I was talking to John Mayer not too long ago, and I said we were hoping that change would have happened long after our game.
Like Sean, I'll say this for the 10th time since Sean Payton, it's probably the 20th time since Sean Payton became the coach. Oftentimes, he simply cannot help himself.
That's
He
who he
talks.
is.
He talks.
Yeah.
You know, and that was a shot.
So what's your take on it? I didn't ask you. How do you feel about Russ? How do you feel about what Sean said?
Yeah. Oh, God. And I know Broncos country is going to always, with a dynamic like this, side with Sean Payton.
Yeah.
I'll say this, and I've said this to you before, so this is not in the moment. Russell Wilson was quite literally my least favorite athlete I ever covered in Denver sports. There was a lot of other guys who maybe did worse stuff that I had found out about, but those guys never pretended to be something that they weren't.
Mm.
Russell Wilson, I think, misrepresents himself and is the definition of an elitist and is arrogant to a degree that I've never seen. I've never seen, and I'm not going to itemize all the things I have in the past, and I don't want to do that today. Except for one thing. When you misrepresent your charity.
You've been on the charity thing for a little while now.
Come on now. You can't win Walter Payton Man of the Year award when you hired a firm to help you win it, and then someone does digging on your charity and only 22 cents out of every dollar went to the
bad.
charity,
But
and you were
also,
paying the
Zach,
guy that ran the charity 6 figures, but he actually works for you, which is illegal.
But the thing is, you don't think that they're all doing that?
But two wrongs don't make a right.
Oh, I agree with you on that. But it's one of these things where they're all doing that.
Well, when I think it was USA Today did the deep dive, and they exposed a lot of people for hiring a firm and doing, but Russell Wilson ended up being the focus of it because his was so egregious.
Yeah.
And I just don't like pats on the back for being the greatest guy in the world when it's not true, actually. And that being said, I had to say this preface before sharing my opinion.
You got to do the build-up.
Because I'm not being a prisoner of the moment here. It was unnecessary for Sean. It was just unnecessary.
Simple as that.
You just won the game, and you want to land one more punch, but you're punching down. You didn't even play him. You're punching down. And so in this situation, like Deion Sanders, I pick my issues with Sean Payton a la carte. In this specific situation, it was unnecessary, and
move on. Yeah, no
that's
need
all.
for it.
It's not a huge deal, but this tweet right here, holy moly.
Were you okay with Russ doing it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, despite me not standing him. Yeah.
Let's stand up for
How
yourself.
many times are you going to get hit in the mouth, right? Before you fight back a little bit.
That's a fact.
So I want to talk about some of the things that James Palmer just shared. Very interesting. That's next.
Bo Nix and the Broncos snatched victory from the jaws of defeat and took down the Giants with a thrilling come-from-behind performance. Nearly halfway through his sophomore season, has Bo shown enough to prove he can be the next franchise QB in the Mile High City. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
What's up, guys? Philip Lindsay here. And you know what? I have a new obsession, and that's with Daisy's French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching any big-time game. And now that Daisy's has come out with a delicious Daisy French Onion Dip, along with a Daisy Ranch dip. Guys, these are definitely game changers that you are not going to want to miss out on. They're as delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients that you can find in your own kitchen. So if you want to be blown away like I was, then you need to give Daisy's French Onion Dip a try today. You can find Daisy's French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
This is Jeff for Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Greg.
Hi, my name is Greg. I've been a patient of Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic for over 10 years. I noticed that I was really tired. I was lethargic. I didn't sleep really well, and I was overweight. My waist was 4 inches over what it should have been. It was really difficult for me to lose the body shape I didn't like. And of course, my marriage, yes. No man in their 40s wants to have low libido in their marriage. I'm really thankful for this therapy because it just makes me feel the man I want to be, active, at home, everywhere. If you're feeling like I was, call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today and get checked. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Thanks, Greg. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Fall means football, and at Postman Law, we know winning matters. Our attorneys have won more than $3 billion for our clients, delivering the results they need when life gets tough. Car crash, workplace injury, serious accident. We know the insurance company's playbook, and we're here to help rewrite it for you with speed, ease, and results. Call 844-POSTMAN or visit postmanlaw.com. Others promise. Postman delivers. This is attorney advertising.
Thinking about buying a home in Colorado? You're not the only one, and now might be your best shot. We're officially in a buyer's market, which means you've got the upper hand. More homes are on the market, competition is down, and serious deals are out there just waiting to be found. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to upgrade or downsize, now's the time to get pre-approved. And American Financing can make that happen in 24 hours or less. And here's the kicker. When you work with both American Financing and their partner American Home Agents, you can receive a credit on closing costs of up to 1% or a max of $10,000 on your home loan. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, it's time to step in, and American Financing is the place to start. Don't let the 20% down myth stop you. You could buy a home with as little as 3% down, and with down payment assistance programs available, getting into a home might be easier than you think. Pick up the phone, call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Select Health, how can we help?
Representative.
I'm ready to answer any questions you have.
Representative.
I'm Sam.
Representative.
It sounds like you said representative. One moment. Select Health, how can we help?
Finally. Hi, I have a question on copays.
I can help with that.
Real people, real answers in real time. Select Health, insurance made simple. Learn more at selecthealth.org.
Ever tried fixing an outlet yourself? First, you watch a DIY video, then you grab your tools. Next thing you know, sparks are flying and your hair looks like you just licked an electrical socket. Let's avoid that, shall we? Piper Electric has been providing expert electrical service since 1983. Repairs, upgrades, EV charger installations, even commercial and industrial. They do it all and do it right. They're giving you $50 off your next service. No fried hair required. Call 303-422-9219 today. Piper Electric. Leave the electricity to the experts.
It's holiday season again, which is great, but also a time of great stress. Planning and paying for friends, family, bills, gifts, etc. can make what should be the best time of the year into the most stressful. At U.S. Mortgages, we want to help reduce stress and debts. Lock in our below-market 4.75 5-year fixed, 5.81 APO.
Wait, you have a 4.75% fixed rate for 5 years?
Yes, and it comes with our lowest rate for life program. If the market improves after you close, even as little as 0.5%, we can redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee. And there's no limit to the number of times you can use this. Lower your bills and stress, save money, and no payments until January of 26. Plus, access up to $15,000 in cash benefits just in time for the holidays. Call us now at 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 390. 92126. This segment on 104.3 The Fan's powered by Hellsberg. Shop and store are at hellsberg.com.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay.
So I want to talk. We're joined by James Palmer, veteran NFL reporter who just does a great job. Just
I love James.
All across the board. We do. I mean, he's the man, and a lot of experience, very professional. So, and James is very careful with his words. Okay, so James is he's the opposite of a hot take guy. He has a good reputation around the league. He does not want to soil that reputation in any way. He wants those doors to remain open for him in these facilities. So it was really interesting to hear him share that he has talked to defensive coaches in the NFL who believe that Sean Payton's offense can be extremely predictable. And to also share that he's talked to folks who believe that Bo Nix is, playing the position at one of the lowest levels, especially when it comes to actually passing the ball down the field.
And then what did James say? A second-year slump.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
For Bo, which hurt my heart a little bit. Like, dang, we're at this point where he's at a little slump. He's into a little slump. Which, when you watch the games, it's there.
Yeah, it's very frustrating to watch mostly, and then you'll have this burst, and
the Tim Tebow effect, where you go 3 quarters of wanting to pull your hair out. That fourth quarter comes around, and magic happens.
Yeah, Dante's he's already turned around the audio. This was James Palmer from just a few minutes ago.
And I contacted a bunch of defensive coaches that I know that have faced this Broncos offense, and multiple things can be true at the same time. Did I hear from more than one coach that Sean has been a bit predictable and these defenses have figured him out a little bit and he has been a little bit slow to adjust and change? True. They feel that way. Do these coaches also believe that Sean at the same time has been scheming guys open, and there have been guys that have been schemed open deep and Bo has missed them? Like, I had one defensive coordinator tell me, Phil, like, Bo just is not a good deep ball thrower. At least this season he's not right now. I mean, he's arguably, if you look at the statistics and the advanced metrics, he's arguably the worst deep ball thrower in football this year.
It's true.
So that falls on Bo. So what I'm saying is there's issues all around in the way that this is looked at by defensive coaches that have faced this team. Can Sean still scheme guys open? Certainly. Can Sean get, a bit predictable at times? You saw that from the Giants defensive line calling out at the number of screens. They saw certain things coming and they read it and they knew it. They're not the only defense that have seen some of that. But also, I'm curious if Sean's calling some of that stuff, because over 10 yards, Bo has just not been very good. So is he hamstrung by his quarterback in the way he's calling a game? And in essence, that's a question that some of these defensive coaches are asking themselves as well. And so the other part is the rhythm aspect of it. Now, defensive coaches believe that have gone against this team that Bo's a rhythm player. And the number of personal changes that happen, I know there's other guys I've talked to in this offense that have had a little bit of an issue coming on the field, coming off the field, coming on the field, coming off the field. And it's hard to stay kind of in that rhythm. But there's two sides to everything, because also these coaches will tell you Sean's a genius at making sure players are on the field to do exactly what they do best and avoids putting them in positions where they are put in a spot to do something that they're not very good at. So, there's a lot of different ways to look at the way that this offense is struggling for sure. But I was surprised by some of the comments about Bo and about the way he's playing the position right now, that some defensive coaches are just not overly impressed, I'll be honest.
So that's a fascinating slice of audio right there. James is obviously very well connected and is talking. He's quoting defensive coordinators from within the sport.
No, there's a lot there. It's interesting. But it's funny because it's like, on one sense, Sean hasn't lost his fastball. He's scheming up plays for success. Bo Nix is not executing, as we talked about. On the other sense, though, it's like Sean's very predictable. And you're going into these game plans, if you're a defensive coordinator, saying, hey, they're going to do a bunch of screens which Sean had 11 screens on Sunday.
Was it 11?
It was 11 screens. I went back and yes, 11
I
of them.
think I guessed 12
You
yesterday.
did. You did 12. I said 10. Ended up with 11. And so it's like when you know that that's coming, you know that Sean's not going to stick to the run. It makes it easy. It's like, hey, they're gonna run screens. They're not gonna take shots, and they're not gonna give J.K. Dobbins enough carries to get going. So let's play a vanilla D or bring pressure when we want to with the zone pressure, and we'll have success. And they're gonna go 3 and out. And at some point, the defense is gonna get so tired and they're undisciplined as it is that we'll find a way to score some points.
It is really tricky.
Crazy.
It is really tricky, and we're going to have the conversation here at the top of the hour. So less than 20 minutes from right now. Like, this is a chicken or the egg thing. Is Bo Nix holding the offense back, or is Sean purposefully holding Bo back because he knows what he can't do? Fascinating. We're going to hear from Sean Payton as well from his most recent conference call, because he gets into some of this. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll do that. Here at the top of the hour. Also, Deion Sanders' name is popping up in a place that could make Buff fans uncomfortable. We'll get to both of those things because we are on the doorstep of 40 consecutive commercial-free minutes of sports talk coming up next.
What a roller coaster. After trailing for nearly the entire game, the Broncos offense erupted with a 33-point fourth quarter and sent the Giants back to the Big Apple with a loss. What can Sean Payton do to get his offense going before the final frame? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, two-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I've made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. I have a true treadmill at home. It's the smoothest and quietest I've ever been on.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, AdvancedHair.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Chernak from Denver Regenerative Medicine. When it comes to healing, there's no one-size-fits-all. Every patient receives a unique treatment plan designed just for them. We use either your own stem cells or carefully selected donor cells to treat degenerative joints, torn muscles and ligaments, and even back injuries. Our goal is lasting healing without unnecessary surgery. And right now, we're offering 10% off treatments through October. Schedule your free consultation today at denverregen.com. That's denverregen.com.
It's back! Football is back, Broncos country, which means summer is almost over. And that means it's time for game days. Whether you're heading to Empower Field or traveling to Boulder to cheer on Coach Prime and the Buffs, you got to get there in style and on time. So let my friends at Hermes Worldwide handle the traffic and parking, and you handle the rest, which means have as much fun as possible and make as many memories as you can. So let Hermes Worldwide get you to and from the game safe. All you need to do is call Hermes Worldwide at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/Denver Sports to book your next ride today.
This is a thank you. Me to you. Listening to you
Watching how you live your life makes our path so clear. My name is Glenn Jamron. I'm president of Alpine Bank, member FDIC. Over the years, you've taught us that we don't need to come up with the big idea. All we have to do is watch you and then follow your lead. You've taught us that when people work together, when we support one another, success is at hand. It all starts by listening, understanding, and then together, caring about what happens. You're committed to making a difference in your life, in the lives of others, and in the happiness and well-being of all. Thank you for making it so clear. The big idea is actually so simple. It's commitment. Alpine Bank, committed to Colorado and you.
Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. Fall has arrived, which makes now the perfect time to call your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks, at 303-425-0985. Ductworks complete ventilation cleaning packages, scrapes and vacuums every inch of your system, removing dirt, dust, and debris other companies leave behind. Here's why that matters. Your heating system kicks on in the fall. Dirty ducts can reduce efficiency, raise your energy bills, push dust into your home's air. A professional cleaning now helps your furnace run better, last longer, and keep your family breathing cleaner air. Don't wait until the first cold snap when everyone else is scrambling. Get ahead of the rush. Call Ductworks today at 303-425-0985 or visit ductworks.com for your free residential and commercial estimate. Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
303-425-0985.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Get ready for every Broncos game with Super Bowl 50 champion Brandon Marshall as he joins The Drive every Friday afternoon at 4:45 exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Thanks to Corwin Toyota Boulder. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, rolling downhill here on a Tuesday. And I want to get to a few things here. One, we'll get back to Broncos here in about 12 and a half minutes because there is a chicken or the egg thing that's happening with this Denver Broncos offense. And we really need to talk about it. And we know how big of an issue it is right now inside the four walls at Dove Valley. And so we're going to peel back some of the layers. We're going to hear from Sean Payton. We'll get back into some of the audio from James Palmer, who joined us here about 30, 40 minutes ago. So you're not going to want to miss that. But before we do that, and here we go, right on the screen here, the big screen in our studio is Dre Greenlaw being featured on, pardon the interruption, for running down the official.
Yep, and Jeff Saturday, my former head coach.
Your former coach.
Literally is critiquing it, I guess.
Yeah, interesting. And we'll see how. Did we get news on that in the appeal? I haven't seen anything. Okay.
Not yet. That may take. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. But they're, like you said yesterday, they're going to go to the football court and they're going to probably do a deep dive on this one because you're dealing with a referee and what was said. And I'm wondering if they have some type of audio, if it's on the referee. I don't know what a ref usually has. They have that microphone to speak so the fans can hear.
Right.
But I wonder if they have some type of audio where they're able to listen to see what Dre Greenlaw actually said to him.
That's a good question. By the way, real quick, in that vein, and then we'll get to the Deion stuff. The NBA is going to be experimenting with referees that have an earpiece during the game and can get communication from what I think it's Secaucus. I want to say Secaucus, New Jersey is where they do the NBA has their
the
command center.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the intent is to speed up replay. So the NFL's doing this right now too. If you see something clear and obvious, we don't need to sit here and, okay, let's put the headset on, let's bring out the screen for the official. Like, if you know in New York, like, that's the call, then just make it, then speed the game up.
Yeah.
That's the intent of what the NBA is going to do.
Somebody's going to be on the microphone like, hey, call a foul.
So I was just going to say.
Call a foul on Jokic.
I'm telling you in advance, as the NBA season is starting tonight, there is going to be conspiracy theories left and right, because it's that league, and that league is so unique.
Yep.
It's so unique, and just prepare for that. Just telling you way ahead of time, this is going to be a thing. And the memes and the changing of calls and all this stuff. Deion Sanders, his name is popping up in a place that could make Colorado Buffalo fans uncomfortable. How real is it? Don't know. Let's talk about it. I'm looking at Deion Sanders' name being associated as a candidate for multiple jobs. And what I saw this morning, and you can just type Deion Sanders' name into Google and hit search.
So you can Google him.
You can Google him like Michael Kirk-Cinetti.
Okay.
It's left and right. It's the Florida job, and it's the Florida State job, specifically. Now, maybe Arkansas as well, because we know before he took the Jackson State job, he actually interviewed
for
the Arkansas job. So how much merit to this is there? I really don't know.
Well, first off, now maybe I'm wrong, Zach, and maybe you know. Did Coach Prime have some type of beef with Florida State?
Yes.
Okay, so there is some beef there.
Yes, there is, and I don't know the origin of it. I just know that Deion and Florida State, and if you don't know, and I know most of you guys do, Deion played at Florida State.
Yep.
He was a star for the Seminoles. I don't know the origin of it, but I remember during the recruitment of Shedeur Sanders, comments were made, and there's been a fracture in that relationship, and he will not acknowledge Florida State. He doesn't even acknowledge them, let alone like be a proud alumnus or return to Tallahassee.
And that's like, and I'm glad that you gave us that answer, because people are like, well, he could go to Florida State. He's not going to Florida State. Now, Florida.
See, that one's tricky.
That one's an interesting one, because if you're the transfer portal king, and you want money to help keep these kids at home or help keep these kids on your team, Florida has that. They're doing a buyout already. They're going to want to pay whoever they bring in a lot of money, because they can't make the same mistake twice and have to fire a coach 3 years down the line. And it's just an SEC school. Like, who wouldn't want to play for an SEC school?
With resources.
The Florida Gators.
With resources.
With resources.
And a proud history.
The question becomes, the money is going to be there. Florida will be able to buy out Coach Prime if they really want to. But what does Coach Prime want to do? You've already kind of put yourself in a situation where everybody loves you here. You're the king. You have the castle, the king of the castle here in Boulder, in Colorado.
Yep.
Do you really want to move and switch up right now when things may be going well for you next year and down the line as you continue to grow as a coach? Like that, those are questions that you want. I want to know. I would want to ask him. Hopefully, he would give me an answer to. But I mean, I'm also biased because it's my.
Of course. I think the Florida thing is interesting. Ultimately, at the end of the day, do I think this is going to happen? I don't. Okay, so I want to say that. I don't think this is actually going to happen.
Do you think it's because Coach Prime doesn't want to, or the people over there wouldn't ask Coach Prime?
I don't think that they would ask Coach Prime to be the head coach. Deion Sanders is 16-16 at Colorado, and he's been perfectly average. And I think that that school right now at this moment in time, they have got to get it right. And whatever hire they make, that fan base is going to be buzzing. They don't need, I do not believe, and maybe I'll be wrong about all this, but I don't believe the Florida Gators need what Colorado needed at the time that they hired Deion Sanders.
A spark?
Like, Colorado had turned into an anonymous program. Like, not one that people disagreed or agreed about. It was one that didn't get talked about. It was in the blind spot of college football fans. When you go 1-11, I mean, ESPN, I remember they'd come out with that, on Monday they'd come out with top 25. Tuesday they would come out with the worst 25. And I remember there was weeks where Colorado was listed as the single worst Power 5 program.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
And so Deion, I think, was a defibrillator. It brought Colorado back to life. It brought relevance and attention. I don't think Florida needs that the way that Colorado did just a few years ago. They're the Florida Gators. They need to hire a great coach. And I don't know if Deion Sanders is a great college football coach.
Okay, so you say that. Who do you have in mind? Who would be a great coach at this time? Because there's a bunch of coaches being fired. Some really good ones that are being fired. So to you, like, who would you have in mind? Because, yes, is Coach Prime the best coach in the world right now? No, he's not. Is he getting better? It sure seems like it.
Yeah.
Seems like he's starting to understand how to coach football and not just be a motivator, and that takes time. But also, when you're able and you are a motivator and you are Coach Prime, you do bring a bunch of your Louis luggage and people do want to play for you.
Yeah.
Imagine what that looks like for the Gators. Like the amount of talent that you're going to get for the Florida Gators because it's an SEC school and it's Coach Prime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some names that come to my mind for the Florida job, which right now is probably the best job open. Now, what are the jobs that are open? It's going to be Penn State. It's going to be Arkansas. It's going to be
UCLA.
UCLA. It's going to be Florida. Did I say Penn State already?
Yeah. Did you say Florida State?
Florida State. Well, Mike Norvell hasn't been fired yet, but they're talking about it.
Yeah.
They're talking. By the way, I read this morning that it's going to cost Florida State around $100 million if they want to buy out Mike Norvell, who is owed $54 million, and then to buy out his staff. That's going to be another $20 million, and then to hire the new staff to come in. I mean, just it's insane. Bad. It's insane. But among those jobs, you could argue that Florida could be the best job. Now, Brian Kelly doesn't figure it out down in Baton Rouge. LSU is going to be the number one job, and I do believe that's the biggest domino still yet to fall in college football. We don't know how that's going to turn out. But names that I would just think of right now, if I'm Florida, James Franklin. Now, James Franklin can't get you over the top, but Florida wants to be in the position that Penn State has been for 5 or 6 years. You know, they'll worry about getting over the top when you can get up there and see the top. That's a name. Rhett Lashley down at SMU. That's a name. You know who is another name?
You said Lane Kiffin, right?
Lane Kiffin from
Lane
Ole
Kiffin
Miss.
Would be one.
Dante doesn't want to hear it, but Kenny Dillingham from Arizona State, I think could be a name. You know who's another one is, and his name is escaping me, the Vandy coach. The Vanderbilt coach. His name is escaping me. Forgive me. Another one, Eli Drinkwitz, the head coach at Missouri.
Yes, he's having a good year.
He's done a fabulous job with that program.
Putting wins together every year.
So, you know, I don't know what direction they're going to go, but here's what I do know. Those guys that I just named have significant pelts on the wall. Deion doesn't. Deion brings the attention. Deion brings the bright lights. But I don't think that's what Florida should be worried about right now. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll go hire Deion Sanders and I'll be dead wrong. But I would guess not.
I'll say this. Like, they can buy him out. They have the money to do it. For Coach Prime, it's like, do you want to leave? You still have a lot of building to do here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, still have a lot of coaching to do here. This is your castle. This is your palace. Make this spot that you're in great. And then after a little while, maybe then you can buy out and go somewhere else.
I'm going to give you one more name. Can you give me the Vandy coach, Dante? I'll give you one more name to keep an eye on for the Florida job. And maybe I am on crack cocaine.
Don't say the Illinois coach.
No. Brett Bielema.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Don't say
We're going to smash through that 7.5 over this year. You may think I'm on drugs. If I'm Florida, you got to think about it.
Oh, here we go.
And he's not my favorite guy, but you got to think about it. You got to think about calling Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer?
You got to think about calling
Bringing him back?
Think about calling Bourbon Urban. Yeah.
I was thinking you were going to go with, like, Gruden. I thought you were going to go with John Gruden. Like, hey, bring in someone like John Gruden.
He's a name to watch, but Urban Meyer's just sitting there. And, again, not my favorite guy, but you talk about a guy with pelts on the wall.
Well, he's going to have them there working out at 1 o'clock in the morning, Zach.
He's got to do what he's got to do. Who's the Vandy coach, Dante?
Clark Lee or
Yes.
Clark Leah?
Yeah, it's Lee. Yes.
Clark Lee.
What do you got here, Dante? I know you want to weigh in. We're all massive college football fans here.
I was just going to add that, you're talking about Deion. He brings the bright lights and the attention. Florida already has that. They're incredible at recruiting. They have a top 10 recruiting class basically year in and year out. I don't know how much more Deion
This is
can
what I'm
actually
saying.
add in that category.
Yeah, they don't need the number one thing that Deion provides right now. Florida sells itself. They don't need the attention. They need to hire a great football coach.
But then on top of that, I mean, you're asking about who else they could hire. Basically, any coach they want outside of like 15 guys. Like the top guys in the ACC, they're coming. The middle level SEC guys, they would go to Florida. It's basically every single college coach except for like the top 15 jobs in the country.
But you need one. You need the one. You need the Kirk Signetti that can go to Florida and be there for a long time.
That's what they need to do. I'm glad you just said that. That's what Indiana did. They knew they're Indiana. So you hire the guy that crushed it at a Division II in Pennsylvania, who crushed it at Elon, who crushed it at James Madison. It's the same thing with Lance Leipold. You just, like, this stop, crushed it. This stop, crushed it. Gets the Buffalo job, crushed it. Boom. So, like, you need a proven commodity if you're Florida. Now, I thought Billy Napier was that. He killed it for the Raging Cage. He was a damn good football coach. I still think he's a good football coach.
What about Nick Saban?
By the way, let me just get this thought out real quick. If Deion ever leaves here, CU should call Billy Napier, in my humble opinion. You said Nick Saban.
Yeah, Nick Saban. What about? I'm just throwing it out there.
And I don't think so. I just
SEC. Like maybe he's like, I got that itch for a couple more years.
Yeah. Maybe, but I would say no. But maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know Nick Saban, so maybe he does want to coach again. Maybe he misses it. Maybe Miss what's his wife's name? Miss Peggy? Is it or
Miss Terry?
Miss Terry. Yeah. Maybe Miss Terry's asking him to do the too many chores he talks about, and he's like, "You want to know what? I had it pretty good." So I don't know. I don't know. But for Deion, we'll see how this plays out. But his name being associated with both Florida State and Florida. All right, this is KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. We are coming with it, and we are coming for it. It's Zach By and Philip Lindsay, and we are The Drive. Hanging out with you, trying to diagnose what is wrong with this Broncos offense. Why is the Denver Broncos offense averaging less points per game than they did in Bo Nix's rookie season? Bo Nix himself struggling. He's ranked 19th in yards per game, 29th in yards per completion, 24th in completion percentage, 24th in quarterback rating, 22nd in QBR. Would you agree that Bo Nix is having a sophomore slump?
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and try to make something up. He is. He's struggling as of right now. All of his points and all of the excitement's coming at the end of games in the fourth quarter. But the first three quarters that you have to get through, Bo Nix is not doing his job. Now, of course, there's context to it. It's not just Bo. You got Sean in his play calling. You got players out there dropping balls. But for Bo Nix, after what he did last year, and he was getting better every single week, Bo Nix was getting better. That's not the case right now with Bo Nix. It seems like he's stuck. He's in a rut. And they have to figure out a way to get him going. He needs to figure out a way to get himself going because it seems like he's thinking a lot. It seems like he's putting so much pressure on himself that he can't go out there and just play free. He can't go out there and do the things he was doing last year. So something has to give, Zach. But, yeah, there is a little bit of a sophomore slump happening with Bo Nix. But you know what? I was watching C.J. Stroud yesterday.
Yeah.
He was struggling.
Yep.
There's quarterbacks out there that are young that are going to struggle. They have not arrived yet. They are not Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. So there's going to be times where it looks bad. And as of right now for Bo, he's in a little rut, and he has to find a way out of it.
Here was Sean Payton talking about Bo's fourth quarter and what else needs to change here moving forward.
There's a sense of urgency, certainly. And I would say the one thing more concerning is us playing better in the earlier quarters, including him. I think that's the key. Look, it's been encouraging that we've been able to finish some games I said this to you guys yesterday. We're going to play in bigger games. We're going to have to be a lot more efficient in the first half of games.
You know, I'll continue to, I guess, repeat myself. Sean, you would never know that Sean is the head coach of a 5-2 team. And I think that is probably a good thing.
Why is that?
Because he's seeing what we're seeing. You know, Dion will say that a lot. You guys saw what I saw.
Not good enough.
Not good enough. And I think he knows in his gut that obviously you'd rather be 5-2 than 2-5 and losing games 31-30. But he knows that this is not sustainable. I think he knows that they're going to have to step up in competition. And I am not trying to be a negative Nelly here on a Tuesday, but the Denver Broncos, in 4 of their 5 wins, have beaten Cam Ward in his first game, and his coach has already been fired. Jake Browning, who has already been benched, and they had to trade for a quarterback in division, almost unheard of. A quarterback in Justin Fields, who was benched the week after the Denver Broncos, and Jackson Dart in his fourth ever start. Now, he played well, but he had the backbreaking mistake that led to a Broncos win. So I think just Sean knows in his heart of hearts, man, this is not going to be good enough to back up what I think that this team can be and what I said that this team could be.
Well, Zach, it makes sense because I've heard in the building that everybody is still walking on eggshells, even though you're 5-2. Why is that? Why is the defense walking on eggshells? Why is the defensive staff having to walk on eggshells? Because Sean is not happy. Sean's offense is not doing well. And I'll never forget this. Justin Reed, safety, that I want to say plays
Kansas
for the
City?
Saints. He used to play with Kansas City.
Yeah.
Before Kansas City, he was drafted by the Houston Texans.
Copy.
And so I was with Houston. And I asked Justin Reed, I said that year because he was young. And that's when they had Tyrann Mathieu, J.J. Watt was still in his prime. Sean Watson was doing his thing. And I said, what happened? Because there was a time where you guys played Kansas City and you had that meltdown. And leading up to it, it seemed like you guys were rolling. And you should have beat Kansas City, you don't. He said, Phil, that whole year we were winning games, but it felt like we were losing. We would come into the locker room at halftime, be winning, and argue with each other. There was always something going on with the head coach and players, butting heads. Because at that time, the head coach was also the general manager.
That's right.
And so now you're having to try to take feelings out of it, but yet you're dealing with people's contracts as the season's going on.
Which he eventually said was a mistake.
A big-time mistake.
I'm talking about Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
Big-time mistake when you have Bill O'Brien, the head coach, that's trying to win football games and call plays, but also dealing with people's contracts.
Right.
And so he said, man, there were days we would come in here and we would win a game and we would come into the locker room and people had sad faces and they were angry. And when you're like that, you're not going to find a way to get to the Super Bowl because at some point it's going to crash and burn on you, and it did.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Sean and them, like they're winning, but Sean's going to probably make them feel like they're losing right now because everything is not going as planned. So Sean has to find that fine line of still giving the kudos to the defense and say, hey, you guys deserve to have your flowers and your fun.
Yeah.
Offense, we got to go to work and have that balance so that everybody still feels good and feels comfortable going into work knowing that you're 5-2.
Yeah. So, but there's got to be a balance.
There has to be
There's got to be a balance because you also don't want to, and Sean said this after the game, you don't want to fool yourself. You don't want to have this false sense of security. Well, we're number 1 in the division. We're 5-2 for the first time since 2000. But when you're actually watching the games, I know how frustrated I get as just an observer of the offense. And how wildly inconsistent it is. No one in pro football is as boom or bust right now as the Denver Broncos offense. So I cannot imagine him when he's the designer of it, and it's a reflection of him.
Well, first you tell the whole team as a unit, don't get comfortable. We got to continue to find ways to win. It doesn't matter how we win, we got to win. Then once you break from the team and you got individual like offense, defense, then you start getting to the nitty-gritty with the offense saying, look, it's not good enough, y'all. Our defense is bailing us out. We look like crap out there. What do we need to do to get this fixed? Because at some point, it's going to come back and bite us in the you-know-what. The penalties, the lack of execution, not staying on the field long enough, all that's going to come around and it's going to hurt our defense and it's going to hurt us and we won't get to the playoffs or we'll get back to the playoffs and get bounced in the first round because we're not doing the little things right.
Well, here was Sean. You talked about what it's like with Sean. Sean was asked, what will they look at during the film review of Sunday's game?
Players haven't been in yet. When they come in, we'll have a chance to go through the tape. We gave up 5 or 6 third and 10 or fourth and long conversions defensively. That's nuts. Offensively, we really didn't amount to anything until we got into the end of the game, fourth quarter. Mental errors, mistakes, snaps, wrong reads, you name it. Thought we were better in the kicking game. We'll have a chance to watch that tape with them, kind of go through the whole game, and then go from there.
I mean, you could just hear how disappointed he is.
Oh, yeah.
And the kicker is, though, he's right. Like, he's right about this stuff. It was unacceptable, and it was interesting to hear him lead with the defense.
He was ready to get on them,
which has been the strength of the football team. But he's keeping it real. That was not good enough against the Giants.
How about you lead with your offense that didn't score any points in the first 3 quarters?
Yeah, and I don't want to. Oh God, I don't want to break this piece of audio down granularly, but. And I think you and Richie may have talked about this in the first hour when I was winning MVP at the media against the Nuggets coaches.
MVP, while you were handling business.
And if you're just joining us and you don't know that story, I'll tell it a little bit later in the show. But that I'm not saying that Sean is not taking accountability, but, he's part of this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's part of this.
He's not taking accountability. He blamed that the defense needed to be better. We also understand that. He blamed that the offense definitely needs to be better, and Bo's missing some of his reads. That's what he said. The alignment, the assignment's not there, playing disciplined football. But yet you didn't hear him one time say, I have to be better.
Right.
My offensive play calling has to be better. Maybe I shouldn't call 11 screens in one game.
But what's crazy is he came into the week talking about adjusting and reducing the game plan, and then what he rolled out was the worst we had seen yet. And this is what makes this so tricky. And I want to get to the Bo stuff here in a minute too, but like when you are scoreless and hapless for 3 quarters and you are at the steering wheel driving this thing, and then the fourth quarter starts and you have such a deficit, you have to let go of the wheel.
Yeah.
And go into 2-minute and go into tempo, and you remove those personnel changes that Sean does more than any coach in NFL history. And you get that, because he views that as a superpower. And when you get that cape ripped off your back and the team goes and scores 33 points almost without you in a way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
It's strange.
But Zach, don't think the players aren't talking about it.
Of course.
Don't think Bo Nix isn't talking to Davis Webb about it in the meeting room when it's an individual quarterback meeting where it's like, hey, like we need to ask Sean to do more of this. Don't think the offensive line's not asking questions of like, why can't we do more of this? Or the running back says, hey, why can't we run the ball a little bit more? All these questions are being asked. And for Sean, it's like, when are you going to start to listen to your players? When are you going to start to obey your eyes on where your team's at? And the strength of your team is the offensive line and running the ball as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
When are you going to be able to take a step back and say, hey, I need to be a better play caller at times as well. I need to help my quarterback out who's struggling. I need to help my offensive line out by maybe running the ball more. Like certain things, this is a team sport. And when I heard what Sean just said about he nitpicked the defense, he talked about the offense, but yet he didn't criticize himself. This is your team. You handpicked all these players. You're this mastermind. But you don't say, hey, like, I have to be better too. You have to be better. Sean has to be better.
And here's the thing. You referenced the 11 screens a minute ago. Like, the Broncos aren't good at them.
No.
It's like you do something more than I've ever seen another coach do, and it's like I want to see the success rate. And I don't want to speak out of turn because I don't have the numbers or math to back it up, with substance. But gosh, I mean,
the only time a screen is successful is when it's in Marvin Mims' hands.
Marvin Mims making a play.
That's the only one. But guess what? Defenses know that now. Anytime that they go for a screen, key on Marvin Mims.
Right.
Take him away.
Right.
Make Troy Franklin, make Cortland Sutton, make R.J. Harvey beat you in the screen game, and you're going to be just fine. So things have to change. And, of course, it's not just on Sean. Bo has to be better. The offense has to be better. But at what point do we get to this point where it's like, guys, let's just play free. Bo, stop thinking so much. Just make the plays. It's hard to do. I know. I've been in situations, Zach, and I said it earlier with Richie, where I've been on teams where we just suck. We do. And I'm trying to figure out what I can do to be a better teammate, a better person. Maybe it's working my tail off even harder. And I would do that, and the team would do that, and you look up and you still lose the game. This is where it's like it's not just on the players, it's also the coaching as well. Everybody has to be on that same page, and they don't look like it. The Denver Broncos offense specifically does not look like they're on the same page, and they have to figure things out before it becomes too late.
Well, in terms of at the nucleus of this, why has this become such an issue? Is it Sean holding Bo back, or is Bo's own shortcomings, who Sean is going to know better than anybody else, and he is asking Bo to do the things that he genuinely believes, Sean believes, that Bo can do?
Well, then that's disrespectful to Bo. As of right now, 11 screen passes, Zach. If I'm Bo Nix, I'm saying, Coach, last year we were opening up the playbook. I was taking more shots downfield. The timing, the rhythm, the processing. I was hitting the middle of the field a lot more than I am now. And yet, you don't trust me enough, or you don't believe in me enough as of right now, where we have to kind of reduce things back to just screenplays. If I'm Bo, I'm upset, because now I feel like you're hiding me, or you're not helping me out. You're not letting me go. You're not letting me fly. You're clipping my wings. And maybe for Sean, it's like, hey, he knows Bo more than we do. So maybe Sean is trying to not necessarily hide, but protect Bo, which I don't know from. It's just confusing right now.
Well, before we continue this conversation, I want to play the piece of audio from James Palmer, our NFL insider. All right, he joins us on Tuesdays, and he gave us some pretty good information here just about an hour ago. Listen to this.
And I contacted a bunch of defensive coaches that I know that have faced this Broncos offense, and multiple things can be true at the same time. Did I hear from more than one coach that Sean has been a bit predictable, and these defenses have figured him out a little bit, and he has been a little bit slow to adjust and change? True. They feel that way. Do these coaches also believe that Sean at the same time has been scheming guys open, and there have been guys that have been schemed open deep, and Bo has missed them? Like, I had one defensive coordinator tell me, Phil, like, Bo just is not a good deep ball thrower. At least this season he's not right now. I mean, he's arguably, if you look at the statistics and the advanced metrics, he's arguably the worst deep ball thrower in football this year.
It's true.
So that falls on Bo. So what I'm saying is there's issues all around in the way that this is looked at by defensive coaches that have faced this team. Can Sean still scheme guys open? Certainly. Can Sean get, a bit predictable at times? You saw that from the Giants defensive line calling out at the number of screens. They saw certain things coming, and they read it, and they knew it. They're not the only defense that have seen some of that. But also, I'm curious if Sean's calling some of that stuff, because over 10 yards, Bo has just not been very good. So is he hamstrung by his quarterback in the way he's calling a game? And in essence, that's a question that some of these defensive coaches are asking themselves as well. And so the other part is the rhythm aspect of it. Now, defensive coaches believe that have gone against this team that Bo's a rhythm player. And the number of personal changes that happen, I know there's other guys I've talked to in this offense that have had a little bit of an issue coming on the field, coming off the field, coming on the field, coming off the field. And it's hard to stay kind of in that rhythm. But there's two sides to everything, because also these coaches will tell you Sean's a genius at making sure players are on the field to do exactly what they do best and avoids putting them in positions where they are put in a spot to do something that they're not very good at. So, there's a lot of different ways to look at the way that this offense is struggling, for sure. But I was surprised by some of the comments about Bo and about the way he's playing the position right now, that some defensive coaches are just not overly impressed on.
All right, so he covered a lot of ground there. Saying that he has talked to a defensive coordinator in the league who says, Sean's offense has become predictable.
Yeah.
Slow to change. But it's the ultimate chicken or the egg thing, because he's saying, well, and we know this to be true. We don't need James to tell us this, that Sean has schemed plays open. I think Bo has missed an open touchdown pass, I want to say around 5 weeks in a row here.
So yeah. Jets, Giants, there was a deep ball to Troy Franklin.
Yep, down the right sideline and the play to Bowles.
And the play to Bowles.
I mean, that's
as easy as you can get it.
I
That
mean,
was a
Phil,
great schemed up play.
It was.
Garrett Bowles would have had his first touchdown. All you had to do was lob it. You're right, Zach. Cortland Sutton in the Jets game.
Yes.
Marvin Mims twice in the Chargers game.
Correct. Trent Sherfield
in the Eagles game.
Correct.
Wow. You're right.
So it's like it's hard to get open in the NFL. And Sean is making it happen once or twice a game. Bo's not connecting on it. But you pull up the pass chart for Bo this past week. I mean, it's not just this week because we've been talking about it 4 weeks. Is that, man, no one throws more passes at or behind the line of scrimmage or within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage than the Denver Broncos. And it's just it's become it's not good.
Well, okay, Zach. So to you, as of right now, going into week 8, who are you blaming? Is it Sean holding this offense back in Bo Nix? Or is it Bo Nix holding this offense back?
Well, of course, I believe both have their shortcomings so far.
We know that.
But if you're putting me on the spot and saying who's got that bigger piece of the blame pie?
Yes.
I would say, oh God, I mean, the play calling is hard to watch, but I don't know what the inner workings of the Swiss clock look like. I don't know how to rearrange that. And I'm saying that because I don't believe Sean would be calling a game like this if he believed Bo would excel at these other things. And I remember...
But you're hurting your offense.
Well...
You're hurting everybody around Bo, the defense, because now you're predictable. Now our defenses are like, hey, we stopped the screen game. They may run a couple times. We put them in 3rd and long. They're not going to convert. Now it's a 3 and out. And if you get enough 3 and outs like the Denver Broncos have, it puts so much more pressure on your defense to go out there and execute. And once they get tired, or they have these long drives and they can't get a team off the field, they will bust. Just like the Giants were able to do a couple times where there's miscommunication, they're tired, and all of a sudden you look up and you give up easy touchdowns.
Yeah. Man, I think when we talked about this yesterday, I think I gave a little bit more blame to Sean. I think it was 45 to 35, something like that. And then there's just, and I have to say this, and then there's just a lack of execution. Like there's just a lack of execution. So when I'm watching Sutton jump on the first series when he doesn't need to jump, when I'm watching R.J. Harvey step out of bounds on a kickoff, when I'm watching Atkins drop a 3rd down pass, when I'm watching Troy Franklin have another drop, when I'm watching Evan Ingram drop the ball on 3rd down, like there's another category.
The penalties.
The penalties. You're the most penalized team in the sport. I mean, goodness gracious. You got coaches running on the field, players chasing referees off the field. I mean, spiking the football, pile driving people. I mean, it's an undisciplined football team.
WWE.
Right? Yeah, Dobbins spiking the football, Hufanga with a German suplex, best I've seen since British Bulldog in the late 90s. So they're
bringing back the old XFL.
Yes. So there's that too. This is not just all about Sean Bo. But you're the head coach, you're the play caller, and you're the quarterback.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, man.
Because from what we have heard so far from Sean's blaming everybody else. Sean's blaming the execution from the players, from Bo specifically, not reading the right players. He said it right there. He said something about the defense, giving up 3rd downs and 4th downs.
Yep.
Saying that has to be picked up. But we didn't hear one time about Sean saying, I have to be better. So Sean thinks it's the players. And I get it. Players make plays. Players win games for you. But you also have to put the players in great situations. That's what makes great offensive coordinators great. They put you in situations to succeed. You're creative at the right times. You know your strength. You roll with it. You set up these plays throughout a game. You have the confidence in the players out there to make the plays, and you go from there. I say it all the time, and I'm going to say it again. Knowledge equals confidence equals playing fast. And this team does not look like they have the confidence because they're not knowing what's going on. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're not playing fast. So something is going on, Zach, with this offense. And I just want to know who's to blame. Who has more part in this?
Yeah. Well, man, this is a bit confounding because the football team's 5-2.
5-2.
Football team is like
top of the AFC West.
You can't get much better than that. But we know from being in the trenches with this team, there's more context than meets the eye when just simply pulling up the standings. They have a long way to go. And I'll say this too, and you've got to find a way to be committed to the run. That's what I think a part of this is too. You had a running back average 6 yards a carry, and he got featured 14 times. And your quarterback, who was stuck in the mud, threw it 50 times. 50. So,
this is why, if you would ask me that question, I'll ask myself that question. Who do I blame the most as of right now? I'm going to put it on Sean Payton because of not sticking with the run, because of not going with your identity, which is the run game. You just paid your offensive line all this money. But also, Zach, you just paid Evan Ingram, and yet he's just now getting on the field. You handpicked all these players. You had a chance to keep Bailey. You don't. So, don't make this an excuse when you go out there and you don't execute, when you don't have the right players doing it. Of course, Bo has to be better, but then keep scheming them up. Keep showing us it's on Bo. Don't reduce your playbook when it's working. Don't reduce the playbook when every time you look up, there's an open receiver. Keep showing us that Bo's not the guy then. Because if you keep scheming up these open plays for success and Bo can't hit them, then we're going to come in here and say it is on Bo. But when you start to reduce things and you're hiding him now, you're making yourself one-dimensional and predictable, you hurt the whole team now. And now you're out there playing not to lose. That's how you playing. You're playing not to lose instead of going out there playing to win.
Yeah.
Being aggressive when you're in going into week 8.
You want to know? I have to give Paul and Golden a shout out because I believe this is true. He says Bo has no touch passing the ball.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. He does not have layered throws. We don't see a lot of that mid-range jump shot like 22 yard. We don't see that. We see balls on a rope. We see so many batted balls.
Yep.
I mean, I can't remember seeing a game that had 5 batted balls to the quarterback.
The run will help out.
The run will help out.
The run will help Bo, even with the batted balls, because if a defensive lineman knows they have to try to stop the run, then there's a lot more on their plate that they're going to have to figure out. But when they know you're going to pass, now it's just hey, if I can't get to the quarterback, get my hands up, time it, watch his eyes, get timing, you'll bat the ball down. We have to run the ball.
All right, we're going to continue to talk, evaluate, try to diagnose. Long way to go. Long way to go with this Broncos offense. And there's a ceiling on the team unless they figure it out. So, all right, something happened on Sunday for the Broncos that flew under the radar, and I want to talk about it next.
Christian Brown is here to stay. The Nuggets locked down their rising star with a 5-year extension worth $125 million. With CB cemented into the starting lineup, is it officially championship or bust in Denver this season? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
What's going on, everybody? Philip Lindsay here. And last year, I went a little rogue and dropped a discount code from our friends at Hermes Worldwide. And you guys used it so much, they almost got mad at me. Well, I'm feeling a little spicy again this season. So I'm bringing it back, baby. You can get 30% off your ride to the game with Hermes Worldwide for your entire season. All you have to do is mention the code PL30. Again, mention PL30 when you book your luxury transportation to Empower Field. And contact Hermes Worldwide at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/Denver Sports. Go Broncos!
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring. Whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
You could save thousands of dollars on the products your business uses the most with the Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred Pricing. Registering is free and easy. Just have your tax ID or business or contractor's license ready. But don't wait. The current preferred pricing benefit will end on November 15th. Visit your local Pro Desk to register now and unlock the deepest savings on the products you choose.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
What if you could delay your next 2 mortgage payments? That's right. Imagine putting those 2 payments in your pocket and finally getting a little breathing room ahead of the holidays. It's possible when you call American Financing today. If you're feeling stretched by everyday expenses, groceries, gas, bills piling up, you're not alone. Most Americans are putting these expenses on credit cards, and credit card rates are insane in the 20s or even 30s. American Financing can show you how to use your home's equity to pay off that debt with rates in the low 5s. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you restructure their loans and save money every month, all without upfront fees. Their customers are saving an average of $800 a month. That's like a $10,000 raise without having to change jobs. Call American Financing before it's too late at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. APR for rates in the 5s start at 6.196% for well-qualified buyers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
Dan Jacobs with Jacobs Law on 303 Law 4040. Just got a great result for a client. Sam had another attorney who couldn't get her more than $20,000, so we took over the case and just settled it for $85,000. Another client, Travis, is like a lot of people. He likes doing business with a handshake in his word, not looking to sue anyone. But when the insurance company was playing hardball and refusing to even pay his medical bills, he called 303 Law 4040 and said, Dan, I hate to bug you, but they just aren't being fair. We took over the case, told the insurance company we would see them at trial, and they immediately more than quadrupled their offer, which was just fine in Travis's book. The insurance companies don't play fair. They aren't going to do the right thing out of the goodness of their hearts, so you don't ever have to feel guilty when calling 303 Law 4040. If you've been injured, we'll make them pay what's fair. And as always, you always talk directly with me or my lovely wife, Kimberly. So save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040. That's 303 Law 4040.
Hey, it's Stink here, and my gal Bonnie says O'Meara has 1,000 vehicles, including cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Right now, the lowest lease payments ever on trucks, like Ford Bronco, $479, or Ford F-150, $449, and 0% interest is available.
So 1,000 vehicles and 0% interest?
That's right. Lease a Ford Bronco, $479 a month, or Ford F-150, $449 a month. At O'Meara, we make it fast, fun, and easy. O'MearaFord.com.
Stock SKF 18820, SLA 87980. Excludes tax, government fees, and a $7.99 dealer handling fee.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
It's The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Something happened on Sunday for the Broncos that flew under the radar. I want to talk about that here in just a second. But speaking of flying, the Fan Flyway is back thanks to 303 Law 4040. This time we're sending one lucky listener and a friend to Phoenix in February for the biggest party in golf. Here's what you get. 2 tickets to Saturday's round at TPC Scottsdale. Round trip airfare for 2 from Denver, 2 nights hotel stay, and $500. For more information and to register, head to thefanflyway.com. If you entered one of our previous Flyway contests, you're already registered for this one. Once you sign up for one Flyway, you're entered for all future Flyways. Guys, that package, that prize is insane. It takes 2 seconds to get involved with it. Okay, and it doesn't cost a thing. Something happened on Sunday for the Broncos that flew under the radar. How about your former teammate, Courtland Sutton? How about your former teammate, Courtland Sutton, passing Ring of Famer Riley Odoms for 7th on the Broncos' all-time receiving list? It wasn't a week ago that he passed Emmanuel Sanders for 7th in all-time Broncos receptions. What a career that Courtland Sutton is putting together.
It's great to see. And I was telling Richie earlier, I mean, he's just a selfless guy as his former teammate. And even when he was young, he would do whatever it took to win that game, making that big-time block or making that big-time catch. We know Courtland's very consistent. And some people don't remember, but Courtland also plays special teams. And him and myself would switch off. So I would be the gunner when we had to run a long distance. And Courtland would come in when we got to the 50-yard line because coach at the time wanted a receiver out there that could catch the punt to try to put him at the 1 or 2 yard line. So Courtland was always doing something. And not one time since I've been around Court has he ever complained. All he does is work. All he does is go out there and try to execute what's being asked of him, to go out there and get better, to be a guy that you can count on, that even when he's not out there, he's coaching you up and asking questions. And even when he was young, he was always asking Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, how can I get better? What do I need to do? When he's in the huddle, he's like, hey, guys, we need to make a play. It'll be a run. He'd be like, Phil, if you get to that open field, I got your block. Like, it's things like that Courtland Sutton does on a daily basis where it's like he's a good dude on the field and he's a great guy off the field.
Here was Sutton after the football game talking about the importance of that win against the Giants.
As a team and where this team is going and the direction this team is going, it was a huge win for, to be able to see the guys fight the way they did from every aspect of the team, special teams, offense, defense. Things weren't looking the way that we wanted them to look offensively in the first half, and even in third quarter it was a little up and down, but, to see the fight that was on that team, in that locker room and on that sideline from, like I said, every aspect of our team, it was, powerful. It was powerful, I tried to echo. I was echoing throughout the sideline. There's no flinch, and until that clock says 0-0-0-0, we got a chance. And you can see the fight. You can see the desire to want to be successful from the guys on the sideline.
Obviously, more winning has to come as a team. But I believe that it is coming. And if you believe that to be true, I go back to when Sutton signed the extension. And I was really, I want to say thankful because it sounds too personal. I was glad, that he had agreed to the price point, because you remember leading up to that, I was scared. I was like, he's going to want $30 million. He did, all this stuff. And then he signed the contract that he signed. And I remember telling you, I was called crazy by a couple people that work here and on the RamosLaw.com text line, that if Courtland Sutton plays out this extension, he's going to be a Ring of Famer.
too consistent not to. And he finally has a quarterback that he enjoys being around that's going to get him the ball. He's finally known as a true receiver one. He has a great chance to do it. Now he has to stay healthy. They have to continue to win. He needs to be a big part of it, which he will continue to be because he's receiver one. And for Cortland, Sean is all about details, right? When we're out there, Sean's talking to receivers, get to 15 yards, get to 16 yards. That's who Cortland is, though. If you tell Cortland to run a 15-yard comeback, he's running a 15-yard comeback. If you tell him to run a 17-yard post route, which is you'll go at 12 yards, then you'll hit the post for another 5 or 4, whatever it is, he's going to do that for you. Attention to detail, that's Cortland Sutton for you. He's very consistent. He's always working on his craft, and that's what's going to get him over the top and get him in a situation where he will become a Ring of Famer.
Well, as we talked about when he signed the extension, if he has a 1,000-yard season this year, and don't forget, and I know you haven't, Sutton is still playing on the final year of the old deal. He's got the years ahead of him. If he goes for 1,000 yards, which he's on pace to be, I think, over 1,100 yards, actually, he'll be top 5 receiver in the history of the team. And that's before the extension starts.
Yeah.
He is really going to have an opportunity. And then you mix in the captainship and the stuff that you described about Sutton. And don't ever minimize this next thing. This ownership group, this is the first batch of players that they've got to know. And players have already come and go. The Randy Gregory's, Russell Wilson, since they got here.
Oh, yeah.
Sutton's been the constant. Sutton's been a professional. Sutton has handled himself with integrity. He's an on- and off-field leader. The ownership group will be the ultimate people who decide who goes up. Cortland Sutton, just to reemphasize, he's going to be on the Ring of Fame. It would have to be, I don't even want to say what would have to happen for that not to happen, but he is firmly trending that way. And I'm happy for him. And I know he's well compensated. He's a pro athlete. I've never talked to the guy one-on-one in my life, but
he's done a lot for Broncos country. Through the bad times, he was there making some plays, and through the good times, he's receiver one. He's a guy that you can count on every single day. You can count on every single game, and we counted on him when it mattered the most against the Giants to get that back shoulder pass.
It's true.
To set Will Lutz up for that field goal. That's
true.
why you paid Cortland Sutton the amount of money you paid him, and why he'll have an opportunity to be a Ring of Famer.
Today, the Denver Nuggets hosted an event where the media plays in a game against the coaches. All right? I was there. I'll tell you what happened coming up next.
The Fan Flyaway is back, presented by 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. To kick off 2026, Denver Sports 1043 The Fan is sending you to Phoenix for the biggest party in golf. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. Head to thefanflyaway.com to register. That's thefanflyaway.com. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
Hey guys, boy Steve here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if he can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house all cash and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Colorado can count on.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
A lot of personal injury lawyers make claims about how good they are. But how do you know who's the best? Who will fight to get you the money you deserve? At Berg Simpson, we don't rely on simple claims like other firms. We have 27 best lawyers in America, 17 super lawyers, and we're one of the National Trial Lawyers' top 25 most influential law firms. Compare us to other firms, then call Berg Simpson.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
Cool nights are here and winter is on the way. Protect your home with the strength and beauty of Infinity by Marvin Windows from Gravina's Window Center of Littleton. This month only, save 25% on windows and 20% on James Hardy siding. With flexible financing, no interest options, and 0 down. Upgrading has never been easier. Call today at 303-794-0490 or go to windowsforyourhome.com. Gravina's Window Center of Littleton, trusted by Colorado families for over 50 years.
Don't miss Colorado football's 2 remaining home games of the 2025 season. Celebrate homecoming with the Buffaloes as CU faces the Arizona Wildcats on Saturday, November 1st. Then lock in your seats for Senior Day against the reigning Big 12 champs, Arizona State, on November 22nd. Great seats are still available at beautiful Folsom Field. Visit cubus.com/tickets or call 303-492-8282 and be there as Ralphie 7 leads the charge for your Colorado Buffaloes.
Select Health, how can we help?
Hi, my CEO needs a POV on the ROI of HDHPs. Buy EOD.
Okay, so you're a small business. Let's start there.
How'd you know that?
Let's just say it's not my first RODEO. Get it? Rodeo.
Oh, right. Letters.
Let's get started.
Real people, real answers in real time. Select Health. Insurance made simple. Learn more at selecthealth.org.
If you don't think doing a quick and free check of your finances is worth it, let me share this recent customer story. Jason and Barbara H. from Denver called us wanting to see if they could save money. Credit was okay and there was a good amount of debts. Their fear was another lender they went to first, shame on them, told them yes in the beginning and then denied them during the process. When they called us, we not only approved the loan, we saved them $3,900 a month.
What? $3,900 a month?
Yes, this couple just saved $3,900 a month by calling U.S. Mortgages. And best of all, with our lowest rate for life guarantee, if the market improves in the future, even as little as 0.5%, they can redo the loan and increase their savings further without any lender or appraisal fees. You could be our next success story. Call 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. License number 392126.
Dental phobia? Consider Sedation Dentistry with Clarkson Dental. Their highly trained team will lead you through an exceptional dental experience from that first fearful call all the way through to aftercare. Call the most experienced sedation dentist and staff. Clarkson Dental, coloradosedation.com.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay.
All right, final segment here on a Tuesday. And we have a friend of the show, the scrappy one, the scrapster, Scrap Peterson. What up, Will?
What up, boys?
Scrappy. How we doing?
I'm great. It's nice that there's 4 of us in the studio right now.
There is kind of 4 of us. Where's Anilo? Is Anilo around?
He's doing Denver Sports Tonight with me, so he should be in here shortly. But I'm not talking about Anilo. I'm talking about Phil, the big old trophy that Zach Bye brought back with him today.
Oh, you got to love it. I mean, it's been hard to look at Zach. I'm like, am I looking at Zach Bye or am I looking at a trophy? I mean, wow.
We put it right in the middle of us. I'll tell the story in 5 seconds real quick. And I guess I didn't make myself clear enough. Like when I'm talking about Sutton going into the Ring of Fame, I'm not saying he's going to retire and go up in the Ring of Fame. Like I'm saying, hey, you got to put Eddie McCaffrey in the Ring of Fame before they put Sutton in. Yes. For sure, that is overdue.
There's a hierarchy to it.
Yeah. So over the years, it will happen. It will happen. So today, the Nuggets did something that they haven't done since 2018. So we're talking pre-COVID. They invited the media down to play some of the coaches. Now, it's not like David Adelman was playing. Okay, I wish he would have. Or Jared Dudley. So like we didn't see those guys, but it was assistant coaches, it was player development guys,
yeah.
And these guys, and I already knew this was coming. I already knew that was coming because the Nuggets wouldn't extend this offer to the media if they weren't confident that they were going to absolutely obliterate the competition. Which we talked about it yesterday. Like I knew that was coming. There was no visions of grandeur like the media was going to win. What?
Come on.
Especially with the amount of media that RSVP'd. I mean, you're talking there was over 30 media members. Every TV station was there. Every radio station was there. Digital outlets. Like, it was packed with people. So what they did was, so everyone had a chance to play, you got put on a 5-person team, and you played them for 4 minutes. Okay?
So they never got off the court.
They never got off the court. Now, they would do subs because there was enough of them.
I was to say, dang.
But they would play these media squads in 4-minute increments, and then after everyone got a chance to play, they took the 10 best people and put 10 minutes on the clock, and you had another game. It was just my hats off to the Nuggets. They didn't have to do this, but it was so cool. And I have not played basketball in over 4 years until this past Saturday, literally. And I played pretty well on Saturday.
Yeah, you said you won the championship.
We did. There was a Basketball Social House. They hosted this thing, and we won, all good. But yesterday, I get a text from Brandon Cristal, and he says, hey, I just talked to Nick O'Hare, who's the head of PR for the Nuggets. He goes, He says he hasn't heard from you. I'm going to be real. I didn't think I was invited for reasons that I'm not even going to get into. But I didn't think I was getting invited. But I went back and checked my email. I'm like, holy, you are invited. So during the show, I'm deciding whether I'm going to go play in this game or not.
You were questioning, should I do it or not?
And I got some encouragement from these guys, like, go play in it. Like, go play.
Go have fun.
And so
Come on, Zach.
I went and played in that old competitive fire. Just like I don't know how to not play as hard as I can. I just don't, which is why I stopped playing in the first place, because I kept on getting hurt. I don't know how to take it easy. And so that fire in my belly just, got ignited, and I was playing as hard as I could, and I'm like, you want to know what? The only thing that I can control, and this is like going back to me, like way back in the day, it's like the only thing that you can control is rebound your heart out.
Yes, the effort.
And you're going to make and miss shots, and I haven't played in 4 years, so I'm not going to have a feel for the ball. And so I just started rebounding and rebounding and rebounding. You could take the next person that had the most rebounds, multiply it by 3. I promise they didn't have as many rebounds as I had. And then I start to get aggressive offensively. And I start going at some of these coaches. And I hit the one coach with a little inside hand exchange, and he bit for it, and I spun off him, left him behind me, hit a fall away jumper off a similar spin move.
Now, did the coaches give you kudos for that one?
They did.
All
They
right,
did.
good.
They did.
All right,
No, they
yeah.
were great. They were great. But they were also highly motivated. They beat the brakes off us so bad. They would not. There's like young, sweet, young women who are like trying to get a shot off, and they're not letting it happen. There was no niceness.
No, not on that court.
And so it was
Matumbo. No.
pretty much. I mean, these guys were flying around dunking. All of them were
Why
Division
though,
I.
Zach? Why do you think that was where you had the staff that was just
I think that
so serious?
I think that if they have an opportunity to actually put in check people who analyze and criticize their games and give them a little taste on something that a lot of them had no idea about. Like, I know those guys, like, you sit behind that bench, you had a great career somewhere that opened up doors for you to make a career out of basketball. So I knew it was coming. But it was just so cool. Like, here I am scoring on a Nuggets coach, and I'm running back, and John Wallace, the general manager, is watching me do it. Christian Brown just signed his extension. He's watching the game.
You going to get that 10-day deal?
Give my man, hey, get him a contract.
10-day. And so at
John Wallace, come on now.
At the very end, they bring everyone together for a picture, and they give out the MVP. He said the MVP, we give it to the leading scorer and a guy who grabbed a whole bunch of rebounds. Boom.
A guy that wasn't going to play.
Handed me the trophy. Hadn't played in basketball in over 4 years.
A guy that didn't talk about no MVP. Won the MVP.
Well, congratulations, man.
Pretty cool. I know
And
it's
everything
silly.
I've heard is that you didn't steal it from anyone. You didn't go Embiid. You didn't go SGA.
Oh, no.
This was your MVP.
No, it's an authentic MVP.
Can we go for another one?
Well, he's got to get 5 in a row now to match what Jokic should have had.
2 in a row.
Tell you what, man. But so that was a fun day. That really
Great,
made my
man.
day.
Yeah.
And
now your son gets to see it.
Yeah, I'm sure he is just waiting at the door to see this trophy.
Are you going to leave it in your house for the next year?
No, I have to bring it back so they can engrave my name in it, and then I get to keep it for the year and bring it back.
That's cool.
Oh,
Pretty
okay.
cool.
Oh,
Pretty cool.
great. That's
Pretty cool.
great.
So that made my day. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thanks to Richie for filling in for that first hour and some change. Really appreciate it. Shout out to Drew and Dante behind the glass. We're going to step aside. It's Denver Sports Tonight coming up next.
After a 2-5 start, Colorado State has fired head football coach Jay Norvell. Read the latest news and information on the changes in Fort Collins at denversports.com. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, guys? I'm here to tell you that Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic are experts in treating low testosterone and other men's sexual health conditions. They've successfully treated tens of thousands of men that are dealing with low T, and you know what? You could be the next one that they can treat. These men have seen amazing differences that those treatments can make in their life. And if you're like a lot of these men out there, within just a few weeks, you'll feel your energy return, the brain fog will go away, your sleep will improve, as with those workouts. And that sex drive, gentlemen, that sex drive that we all desire will be significantly enhanced as well. All I need you to do is take the Low T quiz on their website. It's a simple 10-question quiz full of yes or no answers. It takes 2 minutes to do, so guys, just get it done. Then what you're going to do is schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. They're going to draw your blood and have the results within 30 minutes. They also have 5 locations out there to serve you, so there are no excuses. I don't want to hear, hey, it's too far or I don't know where to go. Bull crap. You could go to Fort Collins, North Denver, Central Denver, Castle Rock, and Colorado Springs. So give Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic a call today at 720-440-7900 or visit RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Join Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan and Athletic at Mile High Station on Sunday, October 26th from noon to 2:25 p.m. for the Fan Football pregame show. Get your head in the game and enjoy orange and blue face painting and ice-cold Athletic. Athletic, all in, all game.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
Guys, fall is here, and so are the all-new styles from Untuck It. We make the world's best untucked shirts, and this season's new arrival